Hello and welcome to Eternal Reaches, the Mongoose Traveller 2nd edition Garblag Games role-playing show. I'm Pete the referee.
Okay, that was just too cheerful. I'm Ben. I'm playing Azar White-Eye, the Yatrin activist who's gone and retired.
I'm Sam. I'm playing Glissa, daughter of Vol, a Redo relic hunter who's obsessed with ancient tech.
I'm Adam. I'm playing Stalwart Husk, a terrific truth seeker. He was a reporter until he retired recently.
I'm Roger. I am playing Commander Magnus Alexanderson, who is a human war hero who's recently retired from the Korean Navy.
I'm Simon. I'm playing Brandon Parsons, who's a human spacer crewman. That's kind of all he does.
He does. He's kind of a dog's body.
If you watch the previous episode, you'll know why.
Well, your stats are on the screen,
Yeah.
so I think the guys can see.
For those that can decode them.
Yes.
And I'm Shan, and I'm playing Jackson Singh Gray, a human, kind of old, sagely philosophical fella.
Cool.
with a dark past, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's kind of
Dark.
In the past.
Yeah. Dark.
maybe dim.
Moody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Poorly lit
Ah,
class.
so whenever anyone comes in the room and you're there, there's just the thin light across your eyes.
They come along
Open the blinds.
Diffuse the light a little bit.
Cool. Okay, so on our last episode, the guys rolled up characters and went through their tours, and we have, as you can tell, formed those into 6 cool little characters. What we're going to do today in probably our team creation episode 0.5, because we're not quite ready for episode 1. What we're going to do is figure out how everyone knows everyone else, talk a bit about our character backgrounds, so that our viewers know a bit about our characters, and then we're going to sort out your ship and your mortgage and your monthly payments and your living costs.
We want the ship.
The dreadnought.
A dreadnought requires 27 mega credits a month.
Yeah, we don't want that.
We've not got that.
No, we don't want mortgages, we just want the whole
But first off, what we didn't get time to do at the end of the last episode was to select the skill package for the team, and we went for Explorer, which may give a bit of a clue as to the kind of thing that the guys might be getting up to once we finally get into the game.
Never leaving a system and just fighting.
Absolutely. Ground combat all the way.
Really don't.
Absolutely. But what we should run through what skills everyone picked from the Explorer package, just so everyone's got a complete view of everything. So Ben, what skill did you take?
Well, first off, I took Recon because my character is something of a survivalist. It seemed like an agent, so it seemed the most appropriate one to work with. And because I got a second pick, I took a second gun combat in archaic weapons.
Archaic weapons. Bows and arrows.
Bows and arrows.
Cool.
Blunderbusses. Flintlocks.
Excellent.
So you can steal all of Sam's historic tech.
No comment.
Can you read my historic?
He said anything about reading text. He's talking about nicking your stuff.
Definitely nicking stuff.
Fair point.
Why has he got written instructions?
I was going to say, point bow this
Probably.
way.
Send towards enemy.
It's got 2 big buttons on it. One is red and the other is red.
Oh dear. I took astrogation because I've travelled around a fair bit and it seemed like a sensible fit for something my character would have picked up.
Okay.
Whereas I took medic because it was one of the few I didn't really have.
That's fine. I'll remember what I get to.
He's done many things.
I picked up stealth, as I probably had to sneak around a bit on boarding actions, and survival because I read the training manual really thoroughly.
Cool. Simon, what skill did you take?
I took pilot.
Okay.
So I already had pilot for piloting starships. So I wanted to be able to pilot shuttles and a fighter. So I went for there's a running theme there. I went for small ships.
Okay.
Small ships.
Cool. Shan?
I think I took electronics.
You did.
You did.
It
Yes.
was 1, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's not bumping my electronics 2 up to 3.
That gives you
It's
different
just,
electrons.
just one.
Second kind of electron.
Yep, second kind. Cool. And did we have any more? Did it go round a couple of
I
times?
did 2 picks.
So
Yeah,
you-
there was
Roger got
a-
the second one.
Roger.
Yeah, there was a survival, wasn't there?
couple of
Left over.
passes. Okay, excellent. So we've got all the skills from the Explorer package. What we need to do now is figure out how everyone knows everybody else.
Yeah.
Yes, as part of the connections. Now, one of the cool rules in Traveller character creation, which we didn't do last time, is the connection rule. Whenever you have an event in one of your tours, you can pick someone else who is part of that event. Someone else can say, I'd like to be part of that event, one of the other travellers. Not just a bystander on the road. And the both of you get an additional skill pick at that time, or any skill you want. So I don't know if we've had a few conversations on Facebook and via email, and there are a few people who have already talked about having some connections. I know that Roger and Simon, you had spoken about having a connection.
So we're both in the Korean Navy.
Okay.
I was in
Korea
the Planet-
Council Defence Force.
Yeah, Korea Council Defence Force. And one of mine. Did we do the last? Was it the last tour?
Well, that's what we were going to figure out.
Yeah. So on one of my tours, I got brutally injured
Okay.
and nearly died.
Yeah.
And on my other tour, I was doing a special ops mission.
Okay.
So
and was that your last
that was my
tour?
last tour.
Okay.
So
What was Roger doing? What was Commander Magnus Alexanderson?
On my last
so on
tour,
his your last tour,
on my
you were
very
doing
last
a
tour, I was
special
on a
mission.
special assignment.
Special assignment, which could have been a Black Ops mission.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you have to be. You don't have to have an associated event yourself. You can just say
You can be part of it.
you can be part of it,
You could-
and you can be part of it,
Yeah.
or you could,
Yeah.
So if you two are going to have a connection
Yeah.
in your last tour,
Well, I was going to suggest potentially one before that.
Well, the one before that, because then my special ops mission could be, because I thought going in and extracting someone from a sticky situation or getting someone out.
Yeah.
You could kind of go with anyone on a spaceship.
Yep.
Could
or on a
be yes.
space station,
Yeah.
or
Or in fact, you've got a revolutionary who could be about to be arrested and could be
possibly
whizzed
Between
out.
rights and peace.
your Trin rights. Love it.
Well, yeah, anything. I mean,
Yeah.
you could easily have somebody in high places thinking, "Oh, well, I've got information. This guy's going to
Would
get."
anyone like to be the target of Brandon Parsons' Black Ops mission?
What point in the timeline are we talking
That
about?
was
there?
2 tours ago.
So the Black Ops mission was the
Last
last tour.
tour.
That
Okay.
was the
Well,
last tour.
Black Ops one I thought might be that was something that I had to either drop you off or rescue you.
Yeah.
Well, that could be your
As that was
special
my
ops.
big
Well,
for
should
the
we do
Black
that
Ops
then?
one.
Yeah.
But I thought we may have met potentially on the one before where you got injured.
I got
and
injured.
You may have been captured, which was my diplomatic mission to negotiate
Oh, wicked.
your release.
Okay.
That's yeah.
We'll do that.
So I was
So
captured.
2 tours ago,
And that's where we met.
you
Yeah,
met
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But your Black Ops mission was your last
Yeah,
tour.
Mission-wise, my last was a failed explorer thing because I was on a run. Mission before that was the one where my contact was severely injured.
Okay, and your contact is
My contact in that case is a Futhlani smuggler.
on Korea.
It doesn't have to be on. No, it would have been closer to New Toronto,
Okay, yeah, so outside of this
outside
subsector.
of this subsector.
Yeah. Okay.
To clarify, viewers, I'm not being rude and looking at my phone for social things. I'm actually looking at traveller stuff. We're looking
Yeah,
at the timeline.
yeah, I put together a little bit of a timeline, sort of working backwards. I didn't have everyone's tours at the time, so it's not a full timeline. It's a
But it
semi-timeline.
was
Yeah.
enough that we
Yeah,
could cover
yes.
So the other one
Yeah.
that I was talking with Shan about was the fact that I was
It's a bit of a human club going on.
yeah.
Well, you know.
Because I was a broker and I was bankrupt.
Were you a broker?
Well,
Were you?
actually, I
A little
was.
bit.
And
Nearly.
I got bankrupted.
Yeah.
And
So you were
and
just broke.
Shan-
Wasn't that where you tried to be a broker, but you got drafted into the?
No.
No,
I
he
tried to go to university, didn't
Yeah.
get in, then became a broker.
Oh
and
yes,
was actually
yes.
a broker.
Okay, yeah.
And then-
yeah.
And then when I
You lost
rolled at the end,
You lost
I
all the money for the
I lost
company,
all the
and you
money,
got
yeah.
made bankrupt.
so basically, so what we thought might be cool is if
Mhm.
actually the guy I was dealing with was the guy that Shan's character is chasing.
in Bryce Corp.
in Bryce Corp.
Bryce Corp.
And that
So
basically what
he's
happened was
trying to do it.
I was about to sell all this stuff and make loads of money, and then all these agents turn up, and my buyer.
So his goods. Well, yeah.
You Scarpers.
My buyer
you're left-
Scarpers, and all of my stuff gets impounded.
Yeah, and that's how I know.
As evidence, which is why I go bankrupt.
Okay.
Because that's
Sure.
I'm not the fault
That's
in
fine.
bankruptcy, but it's,
So essentially, my character is investigated,
Yes.
but is found to not actually have done anything wrong, just kind of,
Okay.
you know.
So Jackson will probably think that you were slightly dodgy earlier on in life,
well, no,
Yeah.
well,
or caught in the wrong situation.
it could
Yeah.
be just making a really bad business decision.
Yeah.
So he's not
Sounds about
actually
right.
doing anything, not actually
Yeah.
doing anything wrong,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Considering your intellect is 5. Yeah, that fits.
Yeah, I pretty much just did some stupid stuff.
Okay, so you did a crap deal. You were one of the agents who was involved in it because you're going undercover. You were going undercover in
I'm
Bryce
still
Corp.
trying to,
You're still trying to bring him
I've
down.
spent the last 20 years looking for that commander.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Leander Roddams.
It's actually not very good.
Commander Lee Jenkins.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Lee
Okay.
Jenkins.
So you guys met a while ago.
So he's a commander, you
Yeah.
say? Does he have to be a commander, or could he have been a commodore?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a different commander. So
No, there's only one.
It's just that there's a commodore in my
Substitute.
past who's not a particularly nice man, but then yours would be a career and mine wouldn't.
no,
Yeah.
No, because my early past is
further away.
further away.
Mhm.
That said,
It's going to make
my-
it hard for you to do lots of these.
My
So-
little journalist friend over here could easily have done an expose on
Yes,
the
so, yeah,
anti-alien sentiment among the
Yeah, I
Toronto
think that's
colony.
what makes us.
Hang on, guys. Sorry, Ben, you were
What do
saying?
you think, Captain Journalism?
I could have done. I mean, most of my journalism was based on Maldactar, but yeah, I could have covered a story that came in from
Further afield.
sectors away.
Yeah.
Of possibly, there was this anti-sentiment here. There was this person, and there's this guy on the run who he might be currently in this sector.
Well,
keep an eye out for him.
There was also a anti-Yatrin
Mm-hmm.
situation on Maldactar
Yes.
that you were near,
Mm-hmm.
and you maybe followed up on other Yatrin that were being victimized
Mhm.
across the Eternal Reaches sector
Yeah.
in general,
Mhm.
which would have led you.
And the
to
anti-Utrin
Azar.
group do have me as a person of significant interest that they would quite like to have a nice quiet chat with, possibly over tea. So we've got a connection there.
Yeah, I could have done an interview with you
Go on.
if you could have popped into the sector, or if
I've travelled around a lot, so
Because you've had one
I could have
connection.
done an interview with you if you came to Maldactar or somewhere else.
because my activism isn't so much in being a terrorist or anything like that. It's more getting people out of the New Toronto territories and into more forgiving areas like
Which would be this
Crete
area.
and
here.
this area.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the only reason I'm coming out now is because things have got a little bit too hot for me in the home territory, or not the home territory, because I don't have a home territory, because
There is no home.
there is no home territory for Utrin.
Maybe
Mhm.
you found a place that he could bring people.
Yeah, no,
on
like I say,
Maldactar.
I mean, there's a whole one of the factions is Utrin based. They're military, but
Yes.
they probably would hold. They would sort of
So an underground railway.
take refugees
kind of thing.
of Utrin because they might have to fight at some point later. But
Yeah.
they do hold territory within the.
Do you have a name
Provinces
for your Commodore?
I don't have a name for my Commodore.
Anderson,
Mr. Anderson.
descended from the founder of New Toronto.
Oh, great. So yes, Commodore Anderson.
There's actually
What's
a whole
the name of this
subsector named
anti-
after his family.
Anti-Utrin group that you were talking about.
Well, no, there's just lots of
Anti-alien
fighting
sentiment.
going on. New Toronto is a faction outside of this subsector,
Mm.
which is humans for humans,
Mhm.
and really doesn't like other alien species apart from maybe as slave labour or to exploit them in very poorly paid jobs.
Operation Human Shield.
Absolutely.
Well,
Alien Shield.
Well, alien
Yeah,
shield. Well, we were
Operation
shielding
Alien
the humans.
Yes.
Cannon fodder.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And they have been going around taking more territory since the United Colonies collapsed. So they're getting closer to this area. But they're not actually, don't have any major influence on this subsector, although you think that maybe they have some operatives working in this area.
Who would be this anti-alien group?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And you're not sure, they don't have an official name, they don't have a you're just aware of these people who have been hounding you and hurt your friend,
Mm.
and now you're sure that some of them might be operating in this area because it's the frontier.
Yeah.
There's new technology being found. The amber zone is being opened up. The chain worlds are there. Everyone's looking at Krier, which is kind of the doorway into this area, as ooh, ripe pickings. Let's go take over Krier. And then we'll own the doorway into all these new fancy places.
So
We'll
which
finally
tour
tidy
would
up
you want
Meldak
to
Tar,
be?
that's a pain. All that
Any in the
kind of
last 20 years. So pick one of the last 5, which makes most sense for you, because I could have done that at any point in that.
Well, if we go back to
Probably not 5 ago, because that was a bit
Probably-
more personal and grown up at that point.
so about the point when I was about 30, according to the time jumpage.
stuff.
Okay,
So 3 tours ago.
so 12 years ago.
Yeah. Actually, go one back further than that.
Okay.
So
So we'll say 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be spot on the 4 years, it can be within a 4-year period. So you guys have known each other for 15 years?
Actually, yeah, it was a sporadic contact, if you like most
Known
of the
of,
subsets.
known of each other.
Known of each other, yes.
Yeah.
Made contact, had an interview.
Yeah, I did an interview,
Yeah.
and then I talked to the Trin on Meldak Tar, and then they were willing to take people in.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Sam,
Okay, so I've got
interesting events?
I've got a couple. I've got one slightly generic one and one slightly better one. So at some point at the end of my career doing scouting, which was a two season career, I basically ended it getting horribly injured. So would have presumably needed rescuing from somewhere.
Okay.
I haven't actually given a great deal of thought as to where the scouting work actually took me, so that could go almost anywhere. Could be Meldak Tar, could be more in career areas, yeah, could be Shroud, could be various places.
Because we discussed this on Facebook, didn't we? You wanted to have been hurt by some powerful technology, potentially.
That was the event, the other event.
The other event.
Say.
Oh,
So
okay,
the other
sorry.
slightly more interesting one is that the reason I left academia is because I made a bad call and a student got killed. And what I was kind of thinking was that we were exploring an area, unusual gravimetric signature was being recorded by the student. I rubbished it, said it was a sensor ghost, and then the area he was in just lost compression entirely. And I still don't really know what happened to him. But that could have been something that people with more interesting backgrounds in navies and corporations and things might have had to look into.
Yes, that sounds like a good one for someone in the Navy. Because Sam's character is the daughter of Glall, who is the king of Glall's kingdom.
Yes.
So she's quite famous and well known.
I do
And if
have.
an appeal to the people of Krier was made to send a rescue mission because they're closer.
So when was that?
When was that?
Which?
That was quite early on. That was my end of my second tour.
So how many
And I
tours
did
ago?
5.
So, okay.
So it's 3 ago that happened.
Combat
That's,
action, notable action.
Yeah,
Roger?
notable action.
That sounds like it.
Yeah.
Notable action.
I
Notable
think I
action.
did one at that time.
You only did two.
What day was it? Yeah, just
Yes.
Pick from the list. Just tell me when
Yes.
I say
So that could work, yeah, that basically we were exploring something and it went horribly wrong.
So you can have been exploring Cardane or Shroud.
How long ago was that?
Cardane is a pirate
3
system
tours.
Oh, okay.
which has some remnant elements in it.
Cardinal
And
Shroud.
Shroud is a system that few ships go to because few come back.
Shroud sounds nice and terrifying and menacing, doesn't it?
Shroud does sound pretty
Should we
cool.
have terrifying and menacing? We'll have Shroud then. And the other one, as I say, the getting horribly injured was only 4 years ago, only 1 tour ago.
4
So,
yeed ago you got horribly injured
horribly injured while scouting.
while
That's
scouting.
my only other one. But yeah, so
Maybe you were
Roger's
going
the
back
interesting
to the same area to figure out what happened.
one. Had to get rescued.
In all fairness, I kind of need rescuing in my last tour
Oh,
because the
last-
ship I was on
Got lost.
got horribly damaged. That's the one where I got 3 contacts and 2 enemies as well.
Okay.
3
3 contacts and 2 enemies.
in
You
one
went
trip.
off somewhere far, didn't you? And you got lost.
Yes, I was
That was your
scouting.
thing.
You were scouting.
And I went away. That's the one that's got me all of these sort of second level
Experiences.
contacts. So I've got a forger and a recruiter and a concierge.
Ah.
Task
A
concierge.
task concierge.
Who's also a fixer.
Okay.
And this is where the anti-alien group really goes off on one at me.
So you would have been exploring somewhere with remnant technology and rescued and brought back to a place where you spent a period of time and made those contacts.
Yeah.
So
So that could quite easily have been on Krier.
yeah, you could that could possibly be where you've ended up. You've
Mm.
made some contacts here now, but you would have been somewhere like Maldactar or Dark Trench or Shroud, where you were scouting and you got hurt. And you had
I got to
be
say,
brought
I
back.
like the sound of Shroud as well.
We'll just
Yeah.
have Shroud as a bad place.
Yeah,
I
it,
was gonna say,
it appeals to me.
If it's Shroud, we all need to get rescued there.
For my hideous injury one, I was also thinking possibly Maldactar because my character would have really wanted to go there.
Yes,
Because,
that's very true.
and then to have got injured shortly afterwards and having to leave again has probably pissed her off no end. But
Yes.
so I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that with Adam as well.
Yeah, you could, like I say, I would have rescued people if I found them,
Okay.
and then I would have reported on their story and had a hollow of it.
Okay. So Roger rescued me
And
from Shroud
she's
the first
like
time. When
famous,
Exactly.
Yes.
so
Yeah,
that would
really.
help your channel.
Well,
In fact, someone else probably would have
What's-
rescued you. I
what's
just
your-
reported on it.
What's your
Yeah.
channel? What's your channel called?
It was called Stalwart Facts.
Cool. Like it.
That was my own.
So
business
yes,
that I
Roger
did.
rescued me
Stalwart
from when
Facts.
my PhD student got murdered, and then Adam rescued me from when I nearly got horribly killed.
Cool.
I was going to say, the way saying Gaul's daughter, I was working on the principle that Gaul has probably had quite a lot.
Oh, he's had loads of daughters.
Yeah, I've got like 90 something half brothers and sisters
Yeah,
missing,
yeah.
so there's quite. a
His
lot of this.
appetites are legendary for food and other things.
Yes, and I'm not one of the older ones who are the ones that are going to inherit
Yes,
it.
it turns those immortality drugs, they don't make you sterile.
No, quite the opposite.
Trust me, we've thought about it. There's only so many young half siblings you need.
So what were you actually injured by?
It could have been
There's lots of war
Maldactar.
happening in Maldactar. There's loads of conflicts.
Maldactar
It's
is a
like
big
lawless.
ancient citadel ship that's now pretty much destroyed and ruined. But lots of people are in there trying to find the last bits of remnant technology within it.
Because it was kind of, it was a ship that was built into like an asteroid as well,
Yes.
and the asteroid still kind of exists.
Yes, and that's got a Chorix colony in it.
Yeah.
And then there's loads of other factions fight, and they're constantly fighting to like claim areas, and it's a balkanized state basically. So you could have gone there trying to research something and not realised you just stepped into a battlefront.
Yes, I assume it was every commission gone wrong. I think was
Yes.
the wording. So yeah, I
That's
assume.
probably
Yeah, I accidentally ended up between something.
Is that the one where I rescued you?
No, that's the second time I got rescued.
yes.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
I'm
first
doing well on
rescue was
rescuing.
from Shroud.
Yeah.
So
But
you-
you knew where to wait. So
That's
you
true. That's true.
you kind of allowed to go to this place.
I've been rescued twice now. But no, Shroud I think was the first one, if that's okay, where I got the PhD student killed. If that's all right with Roger.
It
Got a bit of a
would have been
hang-up
an
on
active war zone, given that my character is supposed to be a war hero. So
Yes.
my action should probably involve the war in some way.
So
Who were career at war with?
Career-
At that point.
actively at war, probably not.
Aren't other people trying to take?
Well, yeah, it'd be
So
very
the
difficult.
Combine.
It would be very difficult to be a war hero without a war.
So
That's true,
you
you've got to find a war
no. So that's her event. So you can be part of her event,
without needing.
and your notable action can still be the battles
Okay.
with the Combine.
You're
That
just
just-
on
that
patrol
just
in Shroud.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why I'm
fine.
fighting the cop.
Alright, so
Yeah.
you don't have to literally
No,
match
no, no.
the
Two
event.
events don't have to tie up.
No.
So you
You
can
can
have
be part of
just
her event.
Perhaps I was at a nearby battle, and then
Yes.
there's a call for
I
to
would
go
say that
rescue
you
someone.
were-
You can be one of those brief few days where you weren't currently at a battle.
Oh, it's my day off today. I'm not massacring loads of Lodorisians.
No heroic today.
The map is on the Facebook page and the web page and all kinds of things. I'm going to hold it up now, you won't be able to see it. But the guys can.
where's Shroud?
So Shroud is over here, Career
Alright.
is here, and Roger, you're probably scouting out this area for combined forces coming around the side from Cultus, which is one of their systems. And you would have been battling and then had a call, you're near Shroud. We've had a request from Glaw's Kingdom to send assistance. Can you go? You're a nearby ship. That would have been that.
Shan, you've got an agency past, haven't you?
Yes.
Do you want to have done some sort of training thing together? Training like operatives or agents? Because while I've got an agent past, it's not expressed as a sort of government agent or anything, but more the sort of revolutionary side of things.
Oh, yeah, well,
But-
mine's corporate, so...
One or two
Yeah.
corporations and governments might in the past have been known to train the
Well,
old
the corporation
revolutionary.
is what
Bryce Corp.
Yeah, Bryce Corp is
Yeah.
a military sort of arms.
Yeah.
Sort
And
of
they
corporation.
would
That's-
Probably fund revolutionary
Yes.
groups to go
Yeah.
off and do certain
Yeah,
things
yeah.
in different areas.
Yeah, I mean, they don't care.
Dangerous
They
to
sell
close to
guns too.
politics.
Go kick off.
So,
Yeah.
are we saying that Bryce Corp are stateless, as it were. They kind of
Yes,
stay
they
on
were
various
corporations.
planets. They
Yeah.
go around on, so they're not. Well, you have corporations that just operate in Korea,
Yeah.
for example, or within the Combine, or across the subsector.
Yeah.
So Bryce Corp is kind of across the subsector.
Yes.
Because I did advanced training in my first intelligence agent
Right.
track, and that's something that we might have both ended up
Knowing each other from that.
knowing
Yeah.
each other from that kind of training.
Yeah.
That would work.
Yeah, that would work.
You can have two connections, can't you?
Yeah, you have two connections.
Yeah.
But you switch me have as many connections you want to.
Ah,
Just get
to
two
know
Yeah,
skills.
yeah,
the
yeah.
skills. Yes, good point, Adam.
Yes, you can roleplay them.
Cool. Okay, so
So I need to pick 2 extra skills.
what we'll do is I'll just go around the table quickly and we'll quickly recap those connections very briefly,
Okay.
so the viewers all know who knows who. Okay, so Ben, if you can just quickly recap your connections.
Connection wise, 1, 2, 3, 4 tours ago, I met Chorik's stalwart friend, who's a journalist covering the anti-alien sentiment and helping to find a way to move Ytrin refugees.
Yep.
And 2 tours before that, a tour before that even, I met Shan's character, who is called
Jackson.
doing advanced training and studying with other types of operatives and agency types to brush up on the odd skills.
Okay.
So
Cool.
what was your character name?
Azar.
Azar.
Sam.
So, 3 and a bit tours ago, I had a disaster while working as an academic, and I got one of my students killed, and probably nearly the rest of us as well. And Roger was sent by Korea in response to a request from my father to come and rescue me. More recently, I, about 4 years ago, ended my scout career being catastrophically injured in a recon mission, probably as an attempt to look for tech on Maldak Tar, and unwittingly wandering into a war zone. So either Adam was among the people that helped and found me, or interviewed me after it was all over.
I was thinking the Stellar Apprentices could have taken you because
Yes.
they do things rather unpredictably because they're religious connections.
They
Okay.
worship the Citadel ship itself,
Okay.
which was originally known as the Stellar Artisan, which is why they call themselves the Stellar Apprentices.
Okay, that makes.
They're crazy.
Yep.
They are crazy.
Yep.
I had a
Pretty
contact
certain-
amongst them, so they might have told me.
Pretty
that
certain my
Yes,
character thinks they're
that
crazy.
ties up nicely.
Exactly.
So you didn't save me from the injuries, but you saved me from being talked at by religious fanatics.
Well, no, maybe they thought they were going to kill you or sacrifice you or something else. And I
Sacrifice you to the Citadel.
Exactly.
Throw in the fusion power core!
Okay, that works.
So yeah, those were my 2 basically. Was
Okay. Cool.
the aliens on this side. I was helping them.
Okay. Magnus.
Okay, so other than rescuing Sam, in my next mission, which was a diplomatic mission, I met Brandon Parsons, where he was injured in a military action, and I negotiated the release of him and the other wounded soldiers.
Okay.
I imagine beer and whiskey was involved in my release.
Probably. And where was this
Were they 2 of the
military
Marines'
action?
names?
Against the Combine?
This was against the Combine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this was in one of our
The
heroic-
tension since then has probably calmed down a bit. There's not an active war going on right now.
Yeah.
Well, we gave him a bloody nose.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
They
not,
weren't expecting it.
it's not all my blood, but
You should be the other guy.
No, you shouldn't.
It's mainly mine.
The Combine's a lot bigger than Korea, isn't it?
It's 4 systems
Compared to 1.
compared to 1 and a bit.
Okay.
Because Korea has started to colonise Kusk,
Yeah.
which is a nearby system.
Alright, so they were picking on the little guy and it went horrendously wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that was where I met Brandon Parsons, and then following on from that, in our most recent tour, we did a special assignment together.
Okay.
Yes.
And what is your special assignment?
I say to.
So
Is
my-
the war? When did the war finish?
So a few years ago, this war, which was never like declared the Great War or anything, but there was lots of fighting between Korea and the Combine, and it's kind of calmed down.
It was a big war.
It was a big war, but no one had said the war has begun. It was just like go fight.
Yeah.
Someone just kept on wandering in and going.
Yeah,
"Oh, that's great."
I think it should be some kind of some kind of upstart who was trying to reignite the war
Okay.
Yeah, some kind
in the Combine.
Some kind
And
of
basically,
red combined general.
he went missing.
Yeah, like a general.
Yeah,
Like, that was clearly a very
clearly just trying to stir things up.
wanted to fight. So we
Yeah.
went in and
Military
took him out.
attaché of Hespero.
You can write that down.
That will be who tried to reignite.
But I think that the information would have come from the Combine where he was going to be. So I think it would be someone in the Combine
Said, "Oh, we don't want this to happen.
said,
Go and sort it out."
oh, by the way,
Look over there.
yeah,
Look at that.
yeah. If you're over there
In a week, you'll be all right.
then
So what was the military
Attaché.
Attaché.
And because that effectively ended the war, that's why my social standing jumped enormously.
Okay, cool.
Yes, I
You stopped it before it happened.
Yeah, it jumped 2 points then. So
Okay.
Hold on, but didn't your character start a conflict?
Yeah, but that was
on Meldactar.
That was Meldactar.
Yeah.
Basically, there was a ceasefire on Meldactar because
No,
the
I just
factions
wondering
just kind of
if-
wandered in.
The commander, because that was 6 tours ago for me,
Yeah.
could have done something with the. He was secretly, or the
He was
Yeah,
pumping
attaché
weapons
tape
to
yeah,
the
and then
Hespero military attaché.
that would kick off a bit more of a.
You could do
fight.
both.
Yeah,
I mean,
because they could be funneling weapons all over the subsector.
yeah.
because what I did with the Meldactar thing was that I accidentally sort of wandered in and kind of ignited the conflict, but then my next 4 years were investigating and proving that it would have reignited in any case because the Utrilla
Well, there you go.
the Utrilla planning a preemptive strike in any
Okay.
case. But it took a lot of research and that to prove it. That's what my social standing
Because
comes
then
from.
I still been thinking,
So,
looking for
in
it.
investigating the Bryce Corp activities on Meldactar, you made contact with a local journalist who was investigating weapons trading going on.
Yes, because I have a
Which
journalist.
was Stalwart Husk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? Cool.
Okay. So I'm next.
So a human
We
does
shared information.
Okay, cool. Great. So we've got some connections. So you guys all sort of know each other somehow. You've all met before. And you have all come together as a team on Career.
Yep.
And we're going to figure out why shortly. But first we should probably figure out your spaceship.
Yeah, one.
And how much money you have to pay each month on living expenses and mortgage, etc. So, let me get a book out.
Yeah, so it's one. Or you put one up by one.
Right, okay. I think everyone's been buying equipment as well, haven't they?
Yep.
So it's sort of
Just
steadily
spend my.
your basic 2,000 credits.
I haven't had a chance to. Yeah.
Okay. No worries.
Under the glance, but yeah.
We will. That's not the end of the world.
Actually, I wasn't sure exactly how your example worked. If it would be from a standard list or.
We'll have to come up with something.
Yeah.
Is the standard 2,000 credits? That's the like a grant. Because I've got 17,500 that I accrued through all those tours.
I think the £2 is out of your main money. It's just
Yeah.
it's the limit of what you can spend
You can
before
spend
we
to
start.
begin with.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is.
So it is
You
out
can
of your own
spend
money.
up to 2,000 credits to begin with.
Oh, I
Of your own
see.
money.
You don't get 2,000 credits to spend.
No.
Because in that case, I have nothing. And I'm going to be wandering around Korea.
You've
with
been
my
rescued,
hats.
haven't you?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. You're running around Korea in a boiler suit.
Yeah.
I better take all this cool armour and stuff.
Oh, keep it written down because someone might.
It's
sort you out.
aspirational.
One day, put a little asterisk next to
I
it.
was going to ask a quick question because so my character is definitely not the sort of person that lugs around like protective clothing if I don't need it. But we're going to somewhere that has known atmospheric issues. What does Kusk, where we're going, count as in terms of atmospheric disasterness?
Horrible. Well,
Because if it's
one
like
of the
it's raining
one
acid,
of the
you can't go out in
potential
it at all.
one of the potential story ideas, one of the things that is
Yeah.
out there, is that Glissa has been asked to travel to Kusk to investigate a remnant artifact that has been found in the system, and it doesn't specify whether it's on the planet or in the asteroid belt, whatever. Deliberately, it's very vague. You are known to be a remnant archaeologist, historian, etc., and in the area. So the Career Council have asked nicely, and they've done this favour for you in the past. So they're
Yeah.
hoping that maybe you might go check it out. to go to Kusk. Now, Kusk has got a dense, tainted atmosphere, which requires a filter, which is fairly standard information that you could find out from anyone on career.
Just because I'd probably bother having that with me.
It's very hot.
Right.
It's very hot.
The other thing I was going to say on that is that I actually, at my last tour, which was Diplomat, I got a +1 ally. So I thought maybe it could be someone in the exploratory section
Department
of
to
career.
whatever. Yeah.
Um,
That's fine.
Fodlani.
They're a Fodlani, indeed. You know a Fodlani called Lofax,
okay.
who's actually the person who contacts you.
So yeah, if I may or may not be going to Kusk, I will likely be carrying, when we start, equipment for Kusk.
But that has been asked of you. It's not a.
I don't definitely have to go.
It's not like a super critical thing, but it's there.
But probably top of my character's mind
Yeah,
at the moment.
top of
So
your
I would
character's
probably have
mind.
bought stuff for that environment. If we might go there at some point.
Sure. Okay, cool. So, you guys have got. It depends on how much of a mortgage you guys want to pay every month.
Should we tell people what we took skill-wise that we got for our...
Oh, from your connections? Yes. Yes. Go. We can go around and do that now, quickly. Ben?
Okay, from my connection with Shan, I've taken art, writer,
Okay.
from the manifesto.
Okay.
And from my connection where I met Stalwart, I've taken explosives from picking up a few things from a Yatrin military base
Yeah.
while I'm in the area. Not necessarily from you directly. I suspect you're not much of an explosives expert. It's just inflammatory text.
Yes, exactly.
And what skills did Glissa pick up on that
I
connections?
picked up from the being horribly injured again. I went with a bit more medic
Okay.
because I was horribly injured and needed fixing. And then also went with electronic comms from the one on Shroud, just because I was presumably thrust into an emergency situation where I had to get some communications home in a hurry.
Okay. Cool.
I took advocate, which is the legally kind of public debatey thing in the persuading of the Yatrin to take these new refugees,
Okay.
and the debate on camera. And I took recon from
Sure.
her, 'cause,
Yep.
in general.
Okay, I took broker for getting career the best deal when we had to go rescue Sam.
Okay.
And then from my one where I rescued or negotiated a deal to get Brandon released, I took persuade to persuade them to give them back our wounded.
Cool. Brandon.
So after being butchered by in a knife fight, I took slug. Went from 1 to 2,
Okay.
and after my Black Ops mission, realizing just how important my gun was, I went from
2 to 3.
gun combat from 2 to 3.
Okay.
I took carouse.
Okay.
Carouse.
Cool.
What's this specific-
Drinking and entertaining
and
people.
entertaining.
Yeah.
And persuade.
Cool. Okay. Cool.
I've got
Right. So you guys, you can choose between a free trader and a far trader.
A dreadnought.
So a free trader has a smaller jump distance, but a less of a maintenance cost every month. So it's 3,778 credits per month.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, sorry.
Just
Yeah.
3,000.
Don't need to write it down.
How much
Whereas
It's gonna be written in.
I've got the whole thing.
it's written, it's already written.
I've got the whole thing.
Whereas a far trader, that's page 166 there. Then the far trader is
The Traveller rulebook.
the Traveller rulebook, Mongoose 2nd edition.
Which page?
The far trader is 4,353 credits per month. So
Slightly more expensive.
so it's an additional 600 credits a month that you'll need to raise to pay the maintenance costs. But we need to figure out the mortgage on your ship as well.
The Far Trader is a better ship, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Got a jump of 2.
I do think it's a better ship.
And jump 2 is probably the furthest that a ship can jump at the moment, considering the ships that have been found and built and reverse engineered from remnant technology.
I think the Far Trader gives us greater range, which gives us a lot more options in
The
what
fact,
to take on.
the fact that it will take you 1 week to get that much further, you're just halving the time. You know?
I thought you were all about freedom.
Yeah.
So
The other one's called
free
free
trade.
trader. That's got a far trade.
Free trader does
Freedom
have
to go
much
far.
greater capacity for passengers.
Does the far trader not have very much?
No,
No,
because you
it's-
need to hold more fuel for your longer
Alright.
Our
jumps.
trader has 10 standard staterooms.
Yep.
Which is the same as free trader. However, it's only got 6 low berths compared to 20. on
Right,
free
you don't
trader.
worry about
Six-
that.
Yeah, but low birds
6
are
low
morally
birds.
dubious anyway.
They generate
Yeah.
less money.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But they are cheap maintenance transport.
But in fact, you pretty much if
Free
if
traders
you're-
also have more common areas.
If you're-
and more
If your power levels burp, you
Yeah,
might have to
if-
check your low birds.
if-
Yes,
you-
because
if
low
you
birds
actually-
basically people be frozen in cargo
Yeah.
and you take places, and the chances of them
Yeah.
normally they wake up when you get them out.
Do we want
But there's
to
this
take
whole like
passengers?
pool thing that they have whereby people
Oh,
bet
yeah.
on how many
It's
people they
also
get
got much more
Oh,
cargo
yeah.
space.
passengers,
I don't mind, but
passengers,
you're the only one with stewards, so guess who's serving the
basically
drinks?
you have to take passengers. You
Um,
have to take
I'm the
cargo,
captain
else
of
you
the
won't-
ship. You
else
bring
you-
me the drinks.
you won't make any money.
I
Unless you
prefer
take-
the colour of the far trader.
Sold.
So yeah, the
I have no
far
strong
trader's got
opinion on this
64
matter.
cargo.
I
And
don't
then
The
mind.
far trader can get you further.
That's true.
Um,
Far trader could get me
How
further.
much is it?
And
We're doing it Explorer.
64
They
versus
look really
80.
similar, yeah.
They are
So the far
they are the
trader's free-
same ship,
Yeah.
but the internal configuration is slightly
Yeah.
different based on fuel.
The free trader has got.
So
almost
basically, you can
25%
if
more
you take
cargo
if you
space.
take the free trader, we can easily make the money needed to and have plenty spare. If
But-
you take the far trader, it's
hang
much
on.
more difficult.
You can go 2 jumps, 2 steps.
Yeah, you get much
Better
more
get-
money.
Funkier.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, you get
places.
more money for going further.
And you get people there quicker.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Costs less money for you to maintain those trips.
Yeah.
Because it's basically 1,000 credits a day, a week per person.
Do you think Roger kind of gets a controlling interest
Oh,
in
yeah.
this, given how many
Feel
ship
like
shares he's got?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Who's got
So-
ship shares?
Where's the dreadnought?
You got 2. So you've got 2 and you've got 5. Okay, so that'll take 7 mega credits off the purchase cost,
Is it the same?
which
game?
means your mortgage is lower.
Yeah.
Does that not sound like ship?
So,
Is
yeah, I'd say go with
that
Yeah.
it?
Where's the purchase?
I know you've got a ship.
I've
Your
got a ship
ship-
somewhere else.
The advice in the book is if you own a ship elsewhere, then you can have a pension of 25,000 credits
Yeah.
I think that's
every year.
the most sensible option. I think, isn't it?
Ship
And considering it's a lab ship and it's not really a trader,
No.
that makes sense.
And also possibly some of the other people that have interest in that ship are maybe not speaking to me
You
as
could
much as
totally
one would
afford
hope
25
Yeah.
grand.
after the dead.
Yeah, it's easy.
So maybe it's best that we
That's
don't.
very
It's not too bad.
You can't make an omelette without killing a few PhD students.
Yeah,
What are you going for? A patrol corvette?
No.
Love it.
You need a whole economy and infrastructure to have those
Yeah,
ships.
yeah,
Keep telling
Because you need to generate money somewhere else to pay for all the stuff.
I'm not sure what. I like the sound of the safari ship. Come on, let's go get some mine.
That's got a lot of storage. It has got
Yeah.
some weapons and stuff.
As in
no
to
armor.
look at, to clarify, not to shoot them. Oh look, a giraffe. Oh, it's a bit. It's only got
So
6
there is
cargo.
also the cost, the amount of money you spend on staterooms.
Yes, so. Right.
Yeah, but the far trade and the free trade are both the same number of stones, don't they?
You do have the same number of staterooms.
And plus, that's all factored into, thankfully, the maintenance cost that already was worked out.
The safari
That's
ship
no,
does
your
it.
maintenance cost
No.
is just you're keeping the ship going.
Well, I included the stones.
No, no, no.
No.
We could
No,
get
That's a
subsidised
separate
line
cost.
just be a
You want
plus.
to listen. You want to listen. Sorry, because otherwise you'll be like, what happened? I don't know what happened.
Spacecraft. Right. So you have a running cost and maintenance. So you have a maintenance cost, but you also have to have fuel. So fuel costs 500 credits per ton for refined, or 100 credits for unrefined. Unrefined fuel is crap. Life support. Each stateroom on a ship costs 1,000 credits per month.
This sounds like we need a lot of maths.
So we need 6.
No.
So you need an accountant in the team.
Look, I've just worked it all out. It's all here. I've written all
Yeah, Roger, I'm with you. Get the
I think
safari
most of
ship.
free trade and far trade have fuel processors.
It's an awesome looking ship. It
I
looks
think-
better.
I assume
That's
you
good. Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
assume the fuel
That's
processors
right.
can convert the unrefined to refined. Isn't that what a fuel processor does?
Yeah.
No,
No, isn't it?
no.
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 What's happening is that
So you can take the scoop. and you can
I
get the
do see
fuel,
one of
and then you
Fuel
can use the
refiners.
fuel.
Yeah.
Feels-
What's
Fuel-
the process to do that?
So it says fuel gathered in the wild.
There's some fuel! Quick!
And that's why we need the safari.
Fuel, yeah.
Oh, look, fuel!
Fuel gathered in the wild is unrefined. So if you have a ram scoop, a fuel scoop, and you go fly through a gas giant and you scoop up the fuel, you can keep it. It's unrefined.
But you also need
ship,
a partly streamlined ship to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You need a fuel refiner to refine it.
Yeah, and also you must have enough cargo space to pick up something that's worth 100 credits. Why would you have a ton of cargo space spare?
If you're in a danger, if you're in, if you're in
basically,
you just jump there, so you
middle of
just
nowhere, you put that
if
fuel.
you land somewhere and you've got no fuel, then hey, why
Yeah.
not? But
And a lot of the
otherwise-
ships are built to hold a jump's worth of fuel.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
a
yeah.
slightly more serious note, what about subsidized merchant?
That's
6,772 maintenance cost, 81.2683 mega credits.
well. The challenge with that one is
That's
However,
twice
it's
as
got
much.
With that
19
kind of
standard
ship,
It's got no
staples.
armour.
with that kind of ship, for someone to give
Oh,
you
armor 0, yeah.
for someone to give you a mortgage on a ship like that, you would need to have proven that you're a worthy merchant
Yeah, yeah,
who will be able to fill it and trade it.
It's fine, he was a broker.
Gets his abacus out.
Credit check. Bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I like the sound of this one.
Revolutionary?
We could legitimately have a yacht, and it looks cool, and it's purple.
It's purple.
It is purple.
Priorities.
Priorities.
So are we going to have the farm trade?
Oh, this one has a ship's boat.
Because it's got a nice colour.
Yeah, should we vote now?
Oh.
Well, that's just looking at them.
Diplomacy.
Oh, I was just having a look at them before.
Yeah, you can have a look at them, that's fine.
I did try and roll a yacht several times and I didn't manage it.
Ben, can you hold your dice up so the camera
It's a
can see
shame that
them?
the yacht has such bad cargo space. It has a
That's a big
luxury
guy.
state, and I like the sound of having a luxury state.
Yeah. So
Commander,
also,
I am Commander.
so also
Magnus
you
Alexander.
also have to pay 1,000 credits
Oh,
per
yeah, I was
person
gonna read that out.
on the ship
Yeah.
per month.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, but that's why we have a
So-
yacht. Everyone will want to go on the yacht.
So running costs, mortgage varies on the ship. Life support, 1,000 credits per stateroom, 3,000 credits for double occupancy.
Yeah.
100 credits for low
Look at
berth.
that.
100, yeah, you too. 100 credits for low berth, so they're cheap. But also
there is a
1,000
medic-
credits per person
There is a medic roll for the
Yeah.
people waking up.
when you wake them up.
Yeah.
Fuel, we talked about. Repairs and maintenance, 0.1% of purchase price divided by 12. So they've done that for the vessels, so you've got
Okay,
your
so
maintenance.
who's the ship's accountant? Shotgun Mullet.
How
I
would that mean?
Yeah,
I think the
I've
guy with 4-5 intellect is.
got the.
He's got an A in education though, so that's
Yeah.
fine.
I've got a, yeah.
He's
no,
learned. He's learned his
I'm
numbers.
sorted. I've got my jumps.
He can count
I've
his
got me-
fingers.
Also, don't forget when you get to a place, you have to pay to dock.
Yeah.
There's berthing charges.
Not if you've got a weapon.
Speaking of, do any of the ships have guns?
I think they have places you could put guns.
They have places to buy guns, yeah. You need to buy them.
I
It
would
actually,
like guns.
Push comes to shove, I'm happy to
I
get a
would use
spacesuit and stand
it
outside.
basically tells you what the systems are. See where it says systems, fuel scoop, blah 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 blah. If it had turrets, that's where it would be.
Oh, so we don't.
Well, also
We don't have
So
turrets.
none of them have the capacity to carry guns.
No, I think
They do. You just haven't put them on the ship yet.
We could just get a mercenary cruiser.
You're going to give us the mortgage for that.
afford that.
The Scout Courier has got a double turret
Okay,
option
so
shown
are
on
we
it.
thinking a far trader?
I think we go with the
I think
far
the far
trade.
trader. Yeah.
They're very similar, honestly.
For the-
If anyone has strong opinions,
for the
then yeah,
double
whatever.
jump.
The far
But
trade.
double
Just
jump.
because the double jump thing just sounds like if the further you go, the more money.
Running away could be
Yeah,
helpful,
yes, yeah. Basically, on it, when you look at the table, it basically has the amount of money you can earn for taking someone to one sector, and then it has a second column with the amount of money extra money you can earn for
Going
doing
further.
2 jumps. So you get more money for further jumps. Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm up for going for the
So-
far trader. What do
Are
we
you
vote?
voting?
Okay.
Yeah, I've no
So you have a
problem.
far trader ship.
Anyone got any preference beyond far trader?
We do need to decide who's going to get their own room. And I only say this. I only say
You've
this.
already written down the stateroom.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
writing
just
it down.
said
I only got
Wait.
10% of this.
I've
shit.
got a code. I've got a code GM over there.
No, I just because you can't let out the rooms.
Isn't it more
Yeah,
If someone's
actually-
already in it.
Are you going to one in each or double occupancy so you can fill up more rooms?
But didn't you say it's more expensive for double occupancy?
It is.
Because it's 3,000 for 2
3,000,
people as
that's
opposed to
extra
1,000 each.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you
That
have
makes no
three,
sense.
if you
So
okay,
basically, when we've
if
not
you-
got any passengers, we should be in separate rooms. But when
Yes.
we've got passengers, we sort of start sticking together.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
That
you may
makes
be able to
sense.
charge them lots of money.
well, yeah, because you can get 4 people in a room.
Double occupancy. There's 2 bunks.
No. So when you have passengers, you can take basic passengers, and there's 4 people in a room.
Okay.
Whereas a middle or a high passenger, they
As
want
their
a
own.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we want to take high passengers. We might get in trouble.
We can't take high passengers because you would have to wait on them hanging
I
food.
was going to say, because you're
Because
the
you're
only
the only
steward.
one
The
that's
steward. Yeah, the commander is.
That just means I know how to run a ship, not wait on.
No.
No, it
You're the one.
specifically says as
Cooking,
well.
it's all about pouring
Example
skills.
So
Yes.
it's-
Cooking a really
Look,
good
just
meal.
because I seem to help do it doesn't mean I'll willingly do it
You
myself.
can hire a steward
That's
if
the
you
other
wish,
thing is we could just
which would cost
employ
you 2,000 credits a month.
Credits.
Maybe when we get a bit more cash.
some. Or if we have any very
It's
posh
two-
people. that
It's
need to-
2,000 credits a month.
I do
And
like.
you've got to pay the 1,000 to keep them alive.
How much money do you all have combined?
I have 50 grand.
So you can pay the bills for.
Not after I've spent it.
I actually have no money at all.
I was just making a point. You do have some money already.
Yeah,
Hold on,
yeah.
you're
Your
not
first
there,
month, you
I'll
can
give you a shiny credit if you've learned to be my
Give you a
Because
shiny
it's actually
credit.
really easy
Just the buttons out, I'll give you some
Really
money.
easy to make some money.
I'm just
So yeah,
saying.
6,000 to run.
I'll back you up that it was a terrible
Just
idea.
It was a terrible accident. He
So we
slipped
only
and
need
fell right into the bacon slicer that was conveniently
People do
placed in
one-
the air.
My advanced combat rifle and I.
3,000. Plus, it's
It's
basically
definitely
4 grand plus
4
10
grand.
grand for your rooms
Yeah.
plus 6 grand because there's 6.
No,
of us.
you're not.
Oh.
You're not all in your rooms. Your rooms don't need. Only if there's someone in them.
Yes, but surely we
Turn
have
off
to
the
be.
power.
We
to
have
the
to
room.
we have to live somewhere, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you have 6 rooms with people in.
Yeah.
But your 4 other rooms
We can turn off.
you can turn off.
I don't need a room. I can
Well,
sleep
yeah,
in a
unless
hammock.
you're going to have
Unless we-
passengers.
Unless you have passengers.
Yeah.
So you don't want
Let's
that
have a
air
look.
water.
So that's only
You can legitimately buy rooms.
We can have a maximum of 4,000 extra
I-
credits coming.
I've got a social.
No,
I've got a
it'll
social.
cost you 4,000 more to run it for a month.
I've got a
And then
social
how much do
of
they pay
4. There's no way I live on my
Figure
own.
that out.
I
It's
can't be
more
doing
than
that.
1,000
I have a
credits.
social.
I can't get myself a match.
Otherwise, I've got a social.
I'm probably
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It depends on how good the people
I'm
get.
quite happy to put up with a hammock in the common area if it's going to
That's
save
it.
us a
A
grand.
low
That's
berth,
it.
you mean?
I'm not going that far.
Yeah, we're not keeping you
Are
too
they
nice.
literally sleeping pods? or
Somebody
maybe
defrost
like
the tray.
hammocks and
It's
things?
like aliens.
They're freezing cryogenic pods that you may not live
So
through.
they're not hammocks, they are literally freezing.
Low berths are
Yeah,
not.
they freeze you.
Yeah.
And that way
You
they don't
get
have to.
stored,
Yeah.
racked up.
Yeah.
We all know how that
It's
ends.
alright, we just don't
It's
close it and turn
interrupting.
it on. So it's basically just a bed.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Everybody always costs a grand, people on board, no matter if they take a room up or not.
Yes.
Basically.
So you cost 1,000 a month. So if you have them on there for a week, it's
So our running
250.
costs are 6 grand plus just for the us and then
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
And we'll assume 4 weeks in a month, so you can easily divide it by 4.
Yeah.
So we can get to an amount if they're only on there for a week.
Okay.
So if you take unrefined fuel and you want to do a 1 jump, that's 2 grand. 2 grand? No.
How much does it
Yeah,
actually
2
take?
grand. And if you want to do a 1
20.
jump, if you want to do a 1 jump,
Oh, it says the number.
20 tons.
right, that's
Cool.
Right,
that's
we've got
20. That's 500 minutes. So that's 10 grand to do 1 jump.
Mhm.
If you do
It comes
Surely we should
with
probably
fuel.
know each other.
yeah. But I'm
So it's
just saying,
got a full tank
How
of fuel.
generous of them.
Yeah, comes with a full tank of
Yeah,
fuel.
yeah,
For only 52 mega credits, we also get some fuel.
And some fluffy dice.
I assume we're introduced by the various other connections that we have.
I was just trying to figure out why we would have bought a ship together. Hello, random person I've never met. Want to buy a ship?
Well, I assume
All
that
of your connections have brought you
Yeah, I
together.
could have introduced
Yeah.
you.
I was gonna say, I
I know
probably-
both of you.
contact, because I'm probably heading back to Korea because I'm coming back
Yeah.
from
Well,
the
you
combine.
know who I am. I
Yeah,
think.
because I know Azara and
Sure, yeah, you're very
Plus,
friendly.
I have a recruitment consultant. So, you know, if you're looking for a gunner,
You may even be interested in talking to him
So-
because he is a war hero.
so my
No, I'm retired from that.
my ally is my brother, who is a merchant on Korea. So as I was coming to the end of my service, this opportunity could well have come up. So the opportunity of a ship, he knew of a ship that was,
Shouldn't he therefore give us a slight discount?
He's not stupid.
It's your
No, you got it wrong. He's the stupid brother.
Yeah. So basically,
you
I
pay
could have
double. But then what are we?
So he may be stupid. I'm not.
So it can easily be that I've basically been told this ship's becoming available, and then so somebody else who needs the ship to go somewhere might have said, "Oh, is there a ship around?"
Yeah.
You know, and maybe the commander decided, you know, I'm going to go on my own kind of thing.
Yeah, and I need a crew for a ship.
Yeah.
I was more thinking that after quite a long time of fighting in a war, and you know, after I ended it, it's like, okay, that's it. I've had enough of this. I don't want to be fighting wars anymore. I want to go out there, and I've now been given a barony. I kind of need to earn the money to keep my title. Because I wasn't born a baron. My social standing jumped quite a lot over the course of my career.
So you are a sub-departmental head.
Yes.
But you call yourself a baron.
Korea
Is a feudal technocracy.
Yeah.
So the departmental head has become the hereditary title
Like lord or
of the family. Exactly. So now a family will raise its children
So what's
in
my
that.
title?
So you're a sub-departmental head. To be nice and overly
But he
efficient.
whispers baron every time.
So
Anything to stop him from being
And your
baron.
family would have been working for the departmental head of the military, who would be raising people to fight in the military, to be navy officers, etc.
So yeah,
In all fairness, if you had someone drop out at the last minute and were in need of a recruit, that kind of makes more sense for me to get drafted for that.
Don't the Yttrian have a reputation of being, you know, thugs?
No.
I'd be a disappointment.
Warriors.
Not thugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything but thugs.
All right.
Self-reliant, no
Warriors.
Yeah.
Principled warriors.
Surely having a warrior on the ship that people would be like, oh, he's got your trainer.
Yeah.
You don't want to screw with them.
Yes.
Might be why I got.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Although it's weird, he's just got no shoes and a boiler suit.
Yeah, but we're paying him minimum wage.
But he's got claws, that's why he's fine.
He's got a funny
I
arm.
might get him a stick.
I've got a funny eye that goes, don't eat that.
If I get him a stick, he could face a machine gun.
I believe the airlocks.
Wouldn't want to face a machine gun without this.
I believe the airlocks come with cutlasses.
They do. Yes.
You can get vac suits and
cutlasses.
There you are, you can have a cutlass. If you join my crew, laddie.
We can take
Okay.
the Yttrian shopping. I'm sure we can take the Yttrian.
Whereas I'm just like, I want a ship. I want to go exploring since apparently I can't go home. So I'll just wander off and I heard of. I've got a contact on Korea, so he did it. Oh yeah, they're just setting up a new exploratory stuff. That's always happening here. Come here, I'll introduce you.
So yeah, I basically sank my life savings into this.
You some favours that people owed you, you pulled, some cash from Glor for saving one of his daughters and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I basically
Actually,
doing this
Roger,
to try
don't you
and-
also have Travellers Aid Society membership?
Yes.
Because we
I
could
don't
quite
know what
easily
that
have
does.
met there then.
Yeah, because he's got a.
Because I've got one as well.
And there
I've
is
no
one.
idea what it does.
doing?
Yes.
It's like a very fancy lounge on Far Harbour Station above Korea, where all the travellers can come and hear about jobs. It's basically a first class lounge. You get your shoes polished.
I've been kind of hanging around there a lot.
You could have been
because
polishing my shoes.
That's not. I've got a membership, mate. I've got shoe polishing.
You've got. Yeah, basically get food.
Buying off the system. Yes, it is the only place I can get food.
As in, you've just been living there. Because it's free. You've got membership.
And when you say the concierge is your contact, do you mean enemy? Trying to hunt you down so you pay your bills.
No, I mean he's desperate for me to get a job, so that I can.
He's trying to help you.
So
You fuck off.
I'll help you. I'll help you.
Perhaps I
Please.
met him there, but
Yeah.
I didn't really know who he was until someone else knew him.
Yeah, well, I might have known.
Both of these guys.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This is my second chance.
And obviously you called in
Oh yeah, I brought
Brandon.
Brendan along because I've known him for a while.
But if you're a proper old boy and you're sat around sipping brandy, then you just assume that everybody else sitting around in the lounge sipping brandy must be one of your people.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Even if they've stolen the brandy and the ornate pipe that they're pretending to smoke.
It's like completely bombing it off the sideboard.
So it's like walking around Waitrose.
Waitrose is a posh supermarket.
Yes, for those that are not. Yes.
For all of our viewers, because they're all in the US.
Oh.
Well, not all of them.
Or too poor to shop in Waitrose.
I was going to say, and the poor people in this country. You've already seen Waitrose before. I wonder what the shiny place was. What are those bright lights?
Essential goose eggs.
Wait, you mean they're not essential?
I think essential ironing water.
Yes, essential ironing water. That's awesome.
The essential asparagus spears.
No,
as
no.
well.
Any shop that deems Emmental essential is my book. Emmental's a cheese.
It's lovely.
It is.
It's always in my fridge.
All right. So, Car Trader.
Far trader.
Yes.
Cool.
Bar trader.
And then
Have
we
we
have
got
Jackson.
Yeah, we've got loads of
So how is Jack? You know Jackson.
Jackson knows.
So you're basically a mate. So you said, Brandon, come along through my ship, and he would said,
Yeah.
I know a guy.
I know a guy who could come in handy.
Decent enough engineer.
I was going to say, we need a
Okay.
J drive engine.
Well, yeah, so
Yeah, J drive engineer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so you're actually in kind of demand in this area because J drive engineers in Korea is kind of like a new thing. In the last 30 years, they've just figured out the J drive again.
Okay, so I knew him, and
And
we're going come
as
and
operator.
join the ship.
Yes. Oh, there
And
you
you
go.
went.
Yeah.
I know.
So like then we all just were like,
If you need it, I can pilot ship. I'm probably not very good at it, but I can do it. Also, I can man a turret.
I've got
So if
pilot.
you're piloting, I can happily man a turret that we don't yet have.
Let's buy all of the turrets.
Okay.
Let's just make this thing into
Because
a
yeah, I want a
hedgehog
turret
of
too.
guns.
Oh, there we go.
You
Wait, are you Han
You
Solo?
only
or
actually
Luke
have one
Skywalker?
turret.
Really?
Yeah, because
Oh,
turrets are based on tonnage. The number of turrets
No,
you're going to
Luke
have.
shoots more, doesn't he?
The number of
No,
turrets.
maybe.
The number of turrets you're
No,
going to
Yeah,
have.
sure.
then I'm really.
I think we can have two, can't we? Because we've got 200 tons, I think.
No, we're.
Yeah.
Hold on, where's the tons? Oh, up there. 200 tons.
I think it's.
So is it one per?
I think you can have one turret per 100 over 100. Maybe it's
Oh,
one or two.
D ton.
100.
Just messing about. Displacement tons. So you're 200 tons.
Yes.
Ah.
It should be mass, shouldn't it?
No, it's displacement. It's how,
No,
much.
no,
It's
no.
how much liquid hydrogen it would displace.
Yes. D tons.
Why?
Displacement tons.
I don't know why.
Just shits and giggles. Why
Because
not?
mass and weight
Yeah.
get tricky and
The way-
complicated in space, and everybody messes around with the difference.
I think it's
between
also to
mass
do
and
with the
weight.
fact that jump drive makes this sort of liquid hydrogen bubble around you in
It
hyperspace.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, that
Can
makes
these
sense.
ships go in and out of atmosphere?
Yes.
Okay, if it's
Okay, so
streamlined.
we
The
can
far
land.
trader can.
So we can land on a planet if we want.
It is streamlined, so yes.
Yep.
Yep,
If it's
far
a
trader can
streamlined-
land on planets.
Okay.
If
It is
it's
streamlined.
partially streamlined, you
Alright.
can kind of skim. the
Because you
actual
don't really have enough
ship.
And if it's
space.
not
No,
like
no,
going
no,
to-
so basically you can land on a planet.
If it's not streamlined, you'll have space for like a little shuttle somewhere on the ship.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was just trying to work out if we could actually land on a planet.
Yes.
Because otherwise that would be like, we want to go there. Well, we can't because once you get to the planet, unless
Yes,
you
it's
want
not ever
to
leaving.
halo jump from there.
And then you have to
Never leaves.
jump really high to get back.
All we need is a really big trampoline. Remember to take the trampoline.
Okay.
Falling with it.
So we need to figure
Have
out
you seen
your,
the grab chair? I can see your character in the
figure out
grab
the
chair.
mortgage
Okay.
on your ship. So
So do we have a
we need to
separate
figure this out.
sheet? Do we need a separate sheet or something?
I think
Yeah,
I think
I've got it.
Simon's already got
Our
it.
admin guy has that.
I've got it.
Yeah.
So are we going to buy guns and stuff and then add that onto the mortgage, or do we just
Yeah,
have to buy
probably
that
probably
separately?
would want a gun.
Okay.
And in fact, as a commander of the Navy, ex-commander of the Navy, I insist we have a gun.
But do we buy it or do we add it onto the mortgage? I assume we add it onto the mortgage.
I'm assuming they cost more than the amount of credits.
Yes,
we
I
have.
assume they cost more than the money we've got.
You can add it onto the mortgage. Where are the
How much is it?
Where's the gun cost?
We want the biggest damn gun in the galaxy.
I don't even think.
Mass drivers.
Are there Death Star
I don't think
cannons?
they're in it.
what's the other one of those?
There.
No.
No,
Oh.
no.
No, this is
Yeah.
the core rule book.
My God.
Yeah.
What are you
they're
after?
not here.
Which one's this?
I've still got
This one
Shan's
there.
Central Supply Catalogue.
Yeah, no, I've got one here.
Aha! Here we go. Weapons.
Oh, here you go. Single turret, MCR 0.2. So it's 200 grand. No,
Yeah.
0.2. So it's 200 grand.
A double.
So you can have a up to tech level 9 weapon on
So
your
you can have
So a
triple
million
turret,
credits, triple turret.
So 1 mega credit.
1 mega credit.
Well, we should get 2 single.
Or two doubles,
Okay,
which already be better than 1 triple.
so
Yeah.
right, so
Yeah,
let's go through with
yeah,
double or
we've
triple
got 4
turrets,
instead
which
of
allow
3.
2 or 3 weapons to be mounted in the same turret. These weapons are different, blah blah blah. Pulse missile racks, sandcaster. So the actual turret doesn't give you the weapon,
No, so that puts a turret on your ship.
and then you
Yeah.
can then
How many
look.
turrets can we have?
So
I just had this mental image of Roger welding extra turrets
Okay.
into the outside.
On the
Okay.
turret.
Ben, you missed
So
the bait.
turrets
Yeah,
and
fire
fixed
turrets.
mounts. Turrets and fixed mounts use the same type of weapon, but whereas a fixed mount may only fire at targets directly ahead of it, a turret rotates and may engage any target in sight. One turret or fixed mount may be attached to each hard point on the ship.
Okay, how
How many
many
hard points?
Where's hard points?
I'm your trend, don't I count as a hard point?
You are a hard point.
There we go. So you
I think
can
you get
attach a
a number-
turret to me.
You get a hard point for every full 100 tons of its hull.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
So you've got 2 hard
so we
points.
can have
Okay.
either 2 turrets or a turret and a fixed gun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say
So
2
basically,
turrets.
Wait, up to 3 weapons may be mounted on a fixed mount, while turrets can mount 1, 2, or 3 weapons depending on their type.
I think perhaps
Yeah.
a
These weapons need not be of the same type, but only one type may be used in the same attack.
I think perhaps 1 fixed triple mounting and a triple turret.
With 3 different guns on each one, so that you can literally say, open fire, all weapons.
you only get to fire one each.
You could fire, basically you'd have 3
Yeah,
pulse
you've got 2
lasers, you
the
could
same
fire them
time.
all at the same time.
Oh,
If you
okay.
get 3 different weapons, you could fire them one at a time.
Yeah.
If they're fixed mounting, would they be fired by the pilot?
Because
Because the pilot has to point the ship to fire.
4 shots
I think so.
instead of 3.
Well, presumably you still need a gun for...
For the turret.
Yeah.
Yeah, the turret would be.
One attack one is made.
So you
all
can
weapons
have,
being fired, but each additional weapon has +1 damage.
More importantly, the type of weapons you can have: laser drill, missile rack, pulse laser, or sandcaster.
I think we need the lasers just so we can say fire the frickin' lasers.
Laser drill is a tool rather than a weapon used by belters to penetrate asteroids and reach valuable ores, but it's mounted on a turret, so you can like laser an
There's your
asteroid.
space bayonet.
Yeah. Missile rack. Though missile racks require ammunition and the warheads take time to reach distant targets, they can be very powerful. Each missile rack holds 12 missiles. Pulse laser, utilizing capacitors to discharge its energy in a single powerful blast. Pulse laser is less accurate than its beam-based weapons, but beam lasers career can't give you because it's too high a technology level. But it's longer ranged and does more damage. So it's less accurate, but it's longer range.
Is that the one we can't have?
That's the one you can have. It's
Yeah,
long range.
we can't have the
more
easy to
damage.
shoot one.
We can have the pew 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 laser, but we can't have the
Yes.
Exactly.
And then you can have sandcaster. Though mounted in turrets and of use against boarders, the sandcaster is primarily a defensive weapon used to protect ships from laser weapons. Each sandcaster holds 12 sand canisters and costs 25 grand to refill.
Yes, it's like a bit of a rock paper shotgun.
You basically fire it in and it creates
The
dust
laser-
around
the
it.
lasers.
The lasers.
No, I understand the principle.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically lasers
It
can
was more
stop
than 25 grand
missiles.
to refill.
Sandcasters
Yeah,
can stop
right.
lasers.
Can we just
and
have some cuts?
missiles don't stop anything.
Just drop it out.
Just open the back hatch. and
Yeah.
start shooting.
A pulse laser will cost you 1 mega credit
per laser.
per laser, and a triple turret will cost you 1 mega credit. So for 4 mega credits,
We could have a turret with
3
lasers.
pulse lasers on it.
Alright, we might want to just go.
So that's
with
about
one
10%
and
of the
then
ship's
buy extra
cost.
guns
The
later.
thing
Yeah.
is,
So you can have a
Thing is-
single turret for 0.2 with a pulse laser for a mega credit.
Nah, if we're gonna do it, we'll go
each
triple
additional,
Steve and get all 3.
when you fire it, your
Buy me a
additional pulse
turret.
laser just gives you +1
Go big or go home.
It doesn't give you 2 shots.
No, it just adds on to the roll.
So
Yeah.
it just gives you +1.
Yeah, I know.
So
If we're gonna have a gun, we may as well make it angry enough
Yeah.
that people are gonna go. You know what? I don't want to screw.
But each one gives +1 dice, so
Yeah.
if you're
Just
supposed to do
additional
2D,
die.
it would do.
Plus it
40.
looks cool
You roll
when we
40.
land.
Yeah,
what are we having?
I'd say we go with
Triple
a triple
pulse laser
turret.
on a turret.
What?
Wow.
Guns.
How much
Four
are
mega
the
credits.
missiles?
My character is above.
So that is called, yeah.
The missile.
A missile
Well,
rack is
behind something
0.75
else.
million credits.
What's the cheapest gun?
I was going to say, and
Cheapest gun.
each time you fire the 12 missiles, it costs 250,000 credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the cheapest gun?
Cheapest gun.
It's
It's
me
a laser
standing
drill.
outside with heavy
Well,
weapons.
the cheapest gun is a sandcaster. Oh, it's the cheapest.
There's a laser drill. It's
Where's the
cheaper
laser
than
drill?
100 grand.
I think it's in the special gun.
It's in the special gun.
Seriously, get the
So
laser
should we
drill.
should we have a second turret
Just
with
mount it on the
double turret with a sandcaster
Oh,
and
it's
a
in
laser
high
drill?
ground. It's in high ground.
Because that means we can defend ourselves when we try and run away, and we can shoot asteroids and mine
Yeah, but
So
we
you
don't
want to have a laser drill and sandcaster on another double turret.
on a
we
double
have a
turret.
triple turret with a gun as well to round it off.
You can. This is racking up the costs and therefore your mortgage.
The mortgage.
It is,
right,
but
yeah.
you know, we have offset to be
Also,
fair. 7
Bear in
megacredits.
mind, Simon, each pulse laser requires 4 power to fire it.
Okay, power. Where's
Oh,
power?
right.
So your
That's
turret will
another
cost you 12 power to fire.
That's huge.
Your power system,
Power 75, and then we have to work out
75.
how much power stuff
and
it
if
is.
you're flying your ship and manoeuvring, that's about 60. Basic ship is 40. Basic ship systems take up 40. And your maneuver drive takes up 20. And your sensors takes up 1. So that's
So we've
61 use. You've got 14 power to play with.
And the lasers how cost how
4 each. So that'd be
So
12.
we
So you
do
can fire your
3,
triple
2.
laser.
Yeah, but then you can't put any.
But,
you're
yeah, so
really
You have to
just-
stop that
So-
weapon and use the other one to do the
Okay,
same
so
task.
we can fire 2 basically.
Oh, the triple turret takes 1 power itself. So it'll take 30.
No, so we can again. So we can do 2 because it's
So what?
4 plus 4 plus 1.
That's
So
9.
9.
Yeah.
And we have 11 to spare. So we can assume we're manoeuvring and we
Then
can.
you've got
fire 2 guns.
14 to spare.
They've got 14
Oh,
to
okay.
So you could do a triple laser.
So you've got
Triple
Well,
pulse laser
5,
But
turret
if you try and stick any other systems on your ship,
then you're
Stuff.
going something's going to fail.
What other systems are there? I've no
Well, we'll
idea.
just turn one of the lasers off.
Yeah,
Like
I've got
future
that.
equipment, you might get.
Okay.
Go faster,
Yeah.
stripes.
Before we look at the
Better.
guns, then can we have a look at other stuff so we know
Better
how much power
computers.
we've got to?
Well, as
Good.
far as extra advances and
Yeah, yeah,
everything,
yeah.
the ships that you are available on career are fairly standard. So they come as they are.
or should we just go?
They have the facility to give you a weapon on your ship,
Yeah.
but beyond that, their technology is not up to
Alright,
scratch.
so literally the only upgrade we can buy are guns.
Yes,
So should we
pretty
just
much.
go with
Because of all the
We've got
combat they've
basic
been doing with the Combine,
Oh.
they have the capability to
Alright,
reverse
we can
engineer
have a
weapons.
single-
I think
Buy the guns and we'll salvage
Or a
cool
double
toys
turret.
off
I
of
think we
alien
should- well,
spaceship.
I think
I presume we have basic sensors.
we
on
can go
comms.
with the,
They have
we
sensors
can
and
go with the
comms.
triple turret, but I'd only have 2.
Since
I
it's
don't
unfortunately
have 2
civilian
lasers.
race, but yes.
Alright, so and then save the
And then
last
fit one on
for
later.
Something later.
Yeah.
Can you
And
save
improve
the last
power?
one.
power.
Can you improve power plants?
You can.
Yeah.
That's
I suspect
major
that's
overhaul.
hugely expensive.
That's a
Yeah.
major
Yeah.
I'm
overhaul.
assuming that's not something
Ship-
we can do on career.
No.
No, you'd have to go to Zinju in high mountain territory
Alright, so-
or Gulls Canyon. To do
Perhaps
that.
we should go with the
And you
triple
don't wanna go
turret
there.
still.
Or Meldactar and take your chances.
Because when we can just, the first thing we should do is try and get any power
So
plants.
we'll have a
I'll
triple.
try and not
okay.
die horribly this time.
It's
So
single
On the upside, if we do all die horribly, it does void our mortgage.
Alright, we're gonna go with
Only
that.
your children have to pay.
Alright,
So what's
we-
the mortgage of the-
We're going with a single triple turret with 3 lasers.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, that sounds fine.
So we've got a very big angry gun to make people go away.
Yeah, and we can fire it backwards if we run away.
And
Right,
we can
so,
legitimately do the manoeuvring stuff while
Right.
we're doing it.
so what did you actually go for? A triple turret,
Yeah.
but with 2 guns on it. 3 guns.
3
on it.
guns. Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to cost you 4 mega credits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in effect, you only get 1 mega credit discount off of the Far Trader because you guys have 5 between you.
Oh yeah, we've still got 5 shares in the ship.
Yes, yeah, but I'm talking.
It's
the
just
price.
the ship is now worth 56 to 40.05.
Yep.
So it's going to cost us 51.
51.2405.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the mortgage. I can't
240.
remember how you work out the mortgage.
I thought it was divided by 240 because I think it's a 40-year mortgage.
240.
Okay.
Based on my house.
How do I remember this stuff? I don't know.
Does someone want to do
bank
that on,
Yeah.
on their phone, on a calculator on their phone?
My abacus doesn't go past 2.
I was going to say, he's
Do
the
you
brain,
want
he
me
can work it out.
Yeah, you call yourself our accountant.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I've worked
So,
out this stuff, but then you
that
pick
is-
a different ship.
I mean, we could knock that down to
So we just
240.
have a free trade.
Alright, hang on, so what exactly?
it's alright.
So do.
I'm on it.
Oh,
Okay. 51,000.
Oh.
do we trust the GM?
51. But look, do this number.
Do we want a spoiler?
That I want 2405 divided by 240.
Double or dies? On the back.
213,502.
It's the mortgage, I think.
Is that per year
I
or?
may have divided that by.
No, that's right, because I had the mortgage down on the free trader as being 15, as being 1,500.
0.217 mega credits.
Have you done this?
No, 213 mega.
51.
Yeah.
240500
2405.
05.
00
Just
divided by 240. Yeah.
Yeah.
213502.
Yeah.
So it's 2,000.
No. 213.
13,502.
Is that per year?
No, that's per month.
We have to make 200 grand a month.
No, that doesn't.
No,
That
can't be that much.
This is incorrect.
It is incorrect.
But no, it's just.
That makes sense per year.
That's probably.
No.
No, it doesn't.
No, that's still.
no, per year that's still too much.
That's still too much. Okay, I don't mind paying less.
Um,
Yeah, we could just go into businesses like organ beggars at this
we
rate.
only had that. Yeah, because you had.
Right.
Yeah, but those are mega credits, so it's a million, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so it's
2,000. Yeah, that is still 213,000 because you added
Cool.
Well, if that's the mortgage.
Welcome to the imaginative world of role playing. Now, do your accountancy work.
Right, so we need to earn a lot of money.
So it's an extra 2,000 a month. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So basically, I worked out on the
213,000
Yeah, I worked out
per month.
I worked out on the free trader. We could pretty much make about 140 grand a month
From
just
from illegal trading.
no,
sorry.
just from flying around, having a few passengers, having some freight. We could easily clear 140.
So that only leaves us a shortfall of about 70 odd grand.
Yeah. Well, you basically
With
have
a smaller. I hate to be
38.
the one to say, but
48.
could we rethink the guns possibly?
It
The
The mortgage
guns
something-
aren't actually going to make a world of difference.
They're
Oh,
less than
okay.
10% of the cost.
Oh,
Yeah.
in which case then
Yeah.
that's
I
fine.
mean, you have just gone from a ship that costs 45 grand to a ship that costs
No. The
56.
ship that went from 52 to 56.
Yeah, but the free trader was much less the other way. The free trader was only.
But it was a less fun colour.
only-
Free trade is only 45.
basically, you've gone from a ship that's 45 to a ship that's
56.
But the earning
that's
potential jumps.
56.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
So I think it's pretty much swings and roundabouts between the two of them.
Yes. So we're on 200 and
So
what was
if
it?
you travel 2 parsecs as a high passenger, it'll cost you 12 grand.
But we can't take high passengers.
Or a middle
we haven't got-
passenger,
Yeah.
9,000.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
can
So you
take.
fit 2 of them in a room.
Yeah.
No.
No, because that costs us.
Middle is still one.
There's one
Is it?
take.
Middle is one.
Basic.
Basic is 4
Okay.
per room.
The middle is 1. How many? What do you get for a basic?
Middle. To every passenger and occasional service from the steward.
Yeah.
High
Yeah.
passage, comfortable quarters, good food, and staff to wait on hand and foot are expected.
And
Yeah,
the only
that's
person who is steward one.
Requires a stateroom, 1 ton of cargo
We don't
space.
have a
Yeah.
stateroom.
We don't have a statement.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do.
we got 10
No, we
statements.
don't.
You got 10
And
We've got
statements.
10 statements.
That's just what the rooms are called.
Basic package. Passage.
Yeah,
You
but I'm
need
not waiting
2
on it.
tons
Yeah,
of spare
that's-
room on the
so we can't
spacecraft
take
for their
high.
stuff.
That's if you
Will be shared. Or on some less scrupulous ships, areas in the cargo bay or engineering will be set aside for basic accommodation and
the
service.
basic is 10 kilograms of passage. It's only if you want
10
to
kilogram baggage allowance.
baggage allowance.
And you can pay for more baggage allowance.
Yeah. And it's 4 people. 4 people are already.
So
It's like
should we-
EasyJet.
Should we call it the
But a lot more
EasyJet?
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's paint it orange.
I'm
That's
just trying
okay.
to find the bit in the rules where it actually tells
How
you
much to go fast?
your mortgage calculation.
It's at least something in speech and jump.
And that is it. It is just divided by. It's the very first thing.
Yeah.
It's on making a living. I think something up there.
I don't know if it, in the high guard book, but in the main book it's
So
They just make a lot of money.
we need to make a hell of a lot. of money.
142.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, are passengers going to cut it, or do we need to do something a little
Oh no,
bit
no,
more
we need to do
exotic?
a lot more than passengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Passengers
Okay,
will
so we do
not
need
pay
the
for.
guns then.
That's a lot of money. 213,000 credits
a
a
month.
month.
So
Plus-
maintenance doesn't seem
Plus
that much
all of
anymore.
our maintenance.
Plus all of our
Maintenance.
fuels.
Okay, so should we put? Have you got a list of all the costs?
Yeah.
Plus, if we want to do any maintenance on
You picked
the,
a different ship.
if the ship
You need
is
a new bit of
damaged,
paper.
you need 1 ton
If you want to just go for one of them,
of
you should be more
scraps and
persuasive.
spares materials on board in order to repair the 1
Yeah.
hull point or something.
No, 10 hull points.
10 hull points.
Or 1 critical hit.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but you
So
still need
that
a
means
hundred.
that would
You need
take the
100.
cargo
You need
space.
100 grand's worth of spare parts,
Yeah.
and you need to have at least a few of them.
Well, the ship does cost 52 million credits.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the idea is we don't get shot.
Yes.
If we
Or
see
at
trouble,
least
we
we
do.
So your starting funds may have to be slightly reserved at the moment. Just go and steal some shit.
There's loads of rules for scaling out on your debt.
They are. There are.
If
There
we
are.
go bankrupt,
I like
just leg it.
Exactly.
There's a nice little sidebar if you just try to run.
Skipping on debt per parsec distant from
Yeah,
debt.
you will just run away.
Well done, MC.
Your
Transmit
brother
the following on
helped set
all
up this
frequencies.
sail. And name
He's
your
got
brother
2 kidneys,
before
hasn't he?
next.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, we
Oh,
should
how long-
just pay up front for their passage, harvest them for organs, and chuck them out the other.
Nah, Rimroll.
I think some people are going to be summarily executed on this journey for being just wrong.
Can
that
my
you
allies
volunteering?
No. What for summary
Can my
executing?
allies
people?
help
Yeah, I can do that.
in some of the
Now we need
costings
to get one
of
out.
Allies are
I don't
people
need
who are
that.
willing to turn up to risk their life to save you.
Yes.
But possibly out their
Unfortunately,
cows.
in Traveller, that might take a week.
In the system you're in.
If it's not too difficult and or time consuming.
Maybe.
We also need to come. More importantly, we need to come up with a name for our ship.
You do.
We
The
do.
money pit.
The bankruptcy.
The hole in space.
Yes, the financial singularity. Yes.
The legally and financially, Magnus's ship.
You totally know his name.
In which case, the cheese it.
Can I come back to the question on who's having their own room?
Okay.
Then,
Well, everyone's going to get their own room, aren't you?
do you think? Okay.
I would
Well,
think.
I say-
Otherwise, you're going to do double occupancy
Well,
with
there
the
is-
Choricks.
No.
That's fine.
Who's getting bottom bunk? The half-ton
Right,
Choricks.
well,
I thought they didn't lie. I thought they just kind of fucked
Well,
down.
not everyone necessarily would want their own room. Some people might just want to slum it.
Well,
There's
also,
still-
I don't know if this affects the power consumption. There are 6 bunks on the main thing and 6 of us, so we could potentially turn the whole second deck off.
Unless we've got passengers.
Unless we've got-
But
we've got
you
passengers.
have to have passengers to make money.
Yes.
This is why
yeah.
she's got a D in intellect and an E in education. Those are some crazy stats.
Those are some crazy stats.
So 4,
Natural
5. So
process of aging
you're
is a bit long.
there are. Those are staterooms, aren't they? On the
So can
yeah, staterooms. There are staterooms near the bridge.
Yeah, and then there's a whole second deck.
So I think second deck is for
So
passengers.
upstairs is passenger stuff,
yeah.
and then you guys.
Uh,
double occupancy though.
how many staterooms are there?
3 staterooms there.
What downstairs?
Yeah.
Downstairs.
As you see through 3
Okay.
double bunks.
I was confused. It's a separate. Yeah, I thought
Okay,
it was
well,
one of
I'm
them.
having a room.
I think
to myself.
that's just the picture. That just
Yeah.
shows you that it's a stateroom.
Yeah, it could be double bunks. It could be single bunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's-
It could be a better small gap where a show rips
that bed
kneels down.
represents a stateroom.
Okay, who wants to sleep in one of those coffin-looking things?
Nobody wants to sleep in a coffin looking thing, but I will have a hammock in the common area. If you want
Well,
your
there
own
you go.
room.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm having my own room. That is just.
So, does
So
anyone
then-
want to double up?
I'm happy to share.
I don't
You
mind, but
actually cost more money
Well,
because it costs 3,000 for double.
I know,
yeah,
they
but
can-
I can make if I can make 24 grand on the room. That
Sure.
I'm not
Yeah,
in.
fine.
like I said, I'll double bunk when it's necessary. I'll
Yeah,
hop
so
back.
Yeah, so
We've
Okay.
got
So that's
50 of us now
3,000,
with
so that's
group,
only a
so we should be able to get
600
passengers.
loss.
Oh, definitely better get passengers.
but if we
just
haven't got
can't get high
passengers,
ones,
we
'cause
can.
Presumably
you've
the
only got one
common
person
area
to
has
sleep
to
on,
have
which is
life
huge.
support in as
Well,
well.
perhaps
Yes.
people need
So-
to.
So you're just gonna
to-
sleep
I will have a hammock in there.
Okay, so the Yatrin,
Okay.
Azar, has got a hammock in the common area.
So the captain can have his own bloody room.
So the captain can have his own room, and
I've
you've got
got a-
double occupancy.
I
I
have,
was
a,
double
gonna
so,
say,
I have a
yeah.
social of D
Yeah,
to
the
maintain.
remake.
I can't share a
Yeah,
Sure.
room.
I don't mind.
So,
sharing.
So do you want-
your
And I do
stateroom
share.
costs are 7,000 credits a month.
Okay.
It's gonna
Remember,
vary
this is a month. Yeah.
Yeah, 3, yeah.
So you take a week to travel 2 parsecs.
Yeah.
You can do that 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah? So you have a month to accrue all
Accrue
these.
7,000 just to
This is
cover this.
round and VP.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
we're
that's
only-
why I said 4 weeks to
So
a
we're
month.
Yeah, but the
using-
refueling and all
So
that
we're
can be
using
done
3
while we're
rooms.
like
3 rooms,
getting
yeah.
passengers.
We're using
Or
3
7,000.
rooms.
Yeah.
Well, also,
Yeah,
if we did
2 of them
go
are
with
double
Pete
occupancy.
suggested
Yeah.
with the career wanting someone to go to Kusk, I think we're saying they would possibly pay us for that as well.
I suggest that we
Yeah.
charge them about 213.
I'm not sure they'll pay that much.
I think also getting passengers to go to Kusk might be difficult.
Honestly, I have no idea the value of the credits really for this.
Well, the system is
That's perfect for your
A meal goes from about 5 credits at a fairly
Well,
cheap
look,
meal to about 50
There,
at a normal.
so,
I don't have a huge grasp of money.
there are
in currency,
various
because
things-
the army, the
Oh,
men
you mean
get paid for everything.
there are
Well,
various
both.
things you can take. You can also take mail, because there's no communication between systems other than ships flying there and updating their records.
Mhm.
So your money is money
Is that email?
in Korea.
It's not physical.
So we
mail.
paint the ship
Yeah,
red.
well, no, it's like a big, it's like a big,
Yeah,
it's
you
a
get
big
there
text
and then
message.
you go, oh, I've got a laser, download
Yeah.
into their internet.
Alright,
They,
so
they
that
have data
takes no
drones.
cargo.
And
It
It's
takes
just
a little bit of cargo.
a little bit.
yeah, to make it fitting, if we're going to be a mail delivery service, we should just drop about 10% of it into the vacuum.
Well, I think it's a fight that you can hit the cargo and it can be destroyed. So yeah.
Maybe they'll open a few things around here.
Yes.
I'm assuming when it comes to doing stuff like ship-to-ship fighting, you can do a pilot roll to make you harder to hit.
I think so. Yeah.
Like,
You
basically-
Oh,
would it be similar?
oh, God, like,
You're going straight to space combat.
No. It's
Yeah.
just when you said about cargo being damaged. If we're getting shot at, the
There's
first
a
priority is going to
random
be
roll
cargo.
for
At
ship
which point,
hits and you might hit the cargo bay. And you can
yeah,
damage
I
the
know.
cargo.
But if we're getting shot at,
You can try to lower the chance of being hit.
Yeah.
This is
Right,
still-
This is still a fairly random
Quick
game.
bash B!
Yes.
Can we go
Okay.
with the culture name?
So
for the ship?
we've got 3 staterooms
I was
being
thinking something
used,
in
2 at double occupancy,
Yeah.
which means you're charging 7,000 a month for that.
Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
crew's supposed to be
There's
And
6
I
of
think
you.
it still costs 1,000 even.
There's 6 of you. You cost 1,000 each a month.
Mhm.
You've got to eat and then you crap.
So that's
and that costs-
13.
Yeah. So that's another 6,000.
yeah,
Then your maintenance every month,
4353.
4353.
You know what, guys? I think it's not worth it. Let's just jack it in. Plug the
Yeah.
ship.
Go
Yeah,
for a
so
walk.
I'm just going to take my mega credits and retire.
You can't.
Can buy a farm somewhere.
And you have to assume, well, you have to kind of assume you're gonna use fuel. You're gonna make X number of jumps a month.
Yeah.
And you're gonna use fuel on all of them.
Maybe.
Well,
You can still
yeah.
do jobs on planets
Yeah.
that earn you money.
Yeah.
You know.
But the real money is in flying your big ship.
I was going to say, if you've got a big ship,
You
you kind of
wouldn't
have to
buy
fly.
Are you saying let's be bad guys?
No,
Hold on,
so
do we all have skulls?
No,
on
repairs
us?
are really
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, no, it's not.
The Career Council are willing to pay you 0.1 mega credits
I mean, I don't care what the job is, we're taking it.
100 grand. That's not bad.
to take Glissa to Kusk.
How many jumps away is that?
1.
Oh, that's disappointing. Why can't we take 2 jumps away and charge more?
There may be some cargo that needs to go there. There may be passengers that need to go there. There may be mail that needs to go there.
Yeah.
We can generate that.
We can take all of those things. Mail
Yeah.
and passengers and cargo and
Just
Yeah.
pile it all in, we'll get a
Yes,
roof rack if we have
That
to.
is the traditional way of making money. There's a
I
chapter.
mean, we don't have much space.
can somebody spot me 2 grand? So I can have some
Plus,
clothes.
Kusk,
Yeah, I can
I suspect Kusk needs a lot of supplies and stuff because it's
They can have
currently
our
it's not
first mission.
self-supporting by any extent.
Yeah, I'll
it's
let
not.
it 2 grand.
They might,
Yeah.
I think they can make fuel there. That's about it.
And they've opened up the space station a little bit, haven't they? And
Yeah, I
there's
think they're
scientists and
building
things
one.
on it, so
I
yeah.
think.
Oh, they're a building one.
At Kusk, you said, yeah.
I thought it was built.
Oh, is that the
It's-
colony?
Still
or
building.
Career?
Oh yeah, Stormhaven Station. That's
Yeah.
it.
So
It's an old United Colonies
Yeah.
station.
And the career is settling this world and
Not
Yeah. So-
settling. It's not inhabitable really.
Shall I read you the blurb for Kusk?
that
Yes,
would
please.
probably be fine.
Okay. This strange remnant world has been largely untouched and undiscovered by the factions of the Ladaris subsector. Beneath charging clouds of carbon dioxide, nitrogen and sulfur dioxide, oceans of sulfuric acid and belching volcanoes do not present a welcoming environment. Perhaps earlier vessels were dissuaded from exploring further due to the effort required to get a shuttle down to the surface. Winds beneath the cloud deck can become extreme at over 300 miles per hour. However, there are signs that this world has held life. The Departmental Council of Career has recently invested a lot of their blossoming infrastructure to send a mission to this world. The scouts were able to detect some form of remnant civilization beneath the clouds. A series of heavily corroded and damaged structures were found across the northern continent in dense concentrations. The scouts believe that there were several separate clusters of people on the surface. Further exploration showed that in fact there was some underground transit network connecting them. This intrigued the Career Exploration Departmental head. More ships were sent and a simple orbital habitat has been refitted. This is Career's big chance to make a name for itself, and the location and extent of this civilization being kept under wraps as much as possible, which isn't much. Most ships that enter the system are told that it's simply a scientific survey of a runaway greenhouse effect, that the Career spaceport Stormhaven is there simply as a fueling point for survey ships and a layover for crew. However, with more and more traders having heard of this new port opening up in the intersection, people are beginning to take note, to add Kusk to their maps. It's only a matter of time before one of the main factions uncovers this secret. Travellers are advised to not stay too long at Stormhaven Station, as there is little to do. The areas not off limits are full of dull scientists or traders looking for the essentials of life. The rest is, well, off limits. In a few years' time, this will be a serious outpost, but for now, the station security department head insists it's best to get what you need and move on. That's Kusk.
That does sound like somewhere that needs supplies and things like that, though, because it's not going to be self-supporting yet.
Yes.
So hopefully we can find
So
something.
the Career Departmental
Get
Council will
fidget
pay you 0.1 mega credits to take Glissa.
So take them fidget spinners.
Yeah! Why not? A whole ton.
Fidget spinners.
Set them all off at the same time. Okay, cool. So,
Fidget spinner 0G.
do we want to see how many passengers there are?
Yes.
So we get to buy equipment first.
We'll do some equipment purchasing, but we'll probably do
Save
that
your money.
off screen
Yeah,
so that we're not
So
doing
I'm not going to
shopping.
need any gear at all.
We will, but we'll assume that you can get that.
For this.
We're gonna not for this bit, no. So, passengers on board in a ship are standardised into 3 categories: high, medium, and basic, and low. That's 4 categories,
Yeah, that amused me.
and it says 3 categories.
Yeah, but low is
Matthew Sprain sort it out.
icebox.
Oh yeah, that is.
That's why they're not a category, because you
Yeah.
shove them in the
They're
freezer.
too low.
We can check
Cost
between the
increases with the distance travelled and is for a single jump. So high passage is fancy people who want, to be waited on hand and foot. Middle is standard, you get your own room. Maybe someone brings you a drink every now and then. And basic is there's a few people in a room and kind of shut up and stay in your room. Yeah, don't make too much of a noise.
Or-
Or,
Lots
fidget
on the
spinners.
outside.
or hang out in the cargo bay but don't touch anything. Low passage is cryogenic freezing, stuffed into a tube with the intention of being thawed out when the destination is reached. Okay, cool. So, seeking passengers. Having enough staterooms or low berths on board a spacecraft is one thing, but travellers looking to make money from bringing passengers on board must find them first. The number of potential passengers seeking passage to any given destination varies depending on a number of factors. When looking to see how many passengers are available, roll 2D on the passenger traffic table 4 times. Once for low berth, once for basic, once for middle, and once for high, Roger. So if you guys roll 2D, if anyone has broker, carouse, or streetwise, they may make a check on that first.
Yeah.
Well, I've got multiple of them.
You can do one of them.
I have streetwise. What does that come off of?
That's a good question. I'm just looking it up now.
What all 3 of them comes off.
Yes. So you
Mostly
can
that.
add on the effect, which is how much you beat the target number by.
Cool.
Streetwise, it's intellect. What else? Sorry, what were the other ones? Broker, caroused, or streetwise? I think they're all intellect actually.
Yes.
Brokers, education
No, because these things are normally educational intellect.
or intellect.
But this is, let me just check. Broker, finding a buyer, social, negotiating a deal, intellect. But I would say it's probably more on the social side then for finding passengers. And carouse,
It feels like you should be able to use your social status to get people. Hide people.
and carouse you can use endurance or social because it's based on either drinking people under a table or no.
Do different skills attract a different kind of passenger?
No,
Because I
so
have carouse and
this
broker.
we will be able to say, right, someone's going to make a streetwise roll for the high passages. Someone's going to make it. So we'll associate
roll
one of
for
the
the-
skills with one of the types. So there are 4 types. Do we have 4 skill people?
I've got streetwise, and you told me to roll low.
Yeah.
So actually, streetwise is probably the best way to get the cheap passengers anyway.
Okay.
You don't want to roll low numbers. You
No,
want
no,
to
no.
roll
No,
low
I'm
numbers.
not going to roll low numbers. I have an intellect of C and streetwise of 2, so I think we're okay there.
Yeah, I could go hobnobbing in high society to get one of them on.
Yeah.
I've got carouse, but it's only at 0.
And it's an
I'll
8
grab
plus.
I've got broker 1 and carouse 1.
I've got crowds and streetwise.
So he's got streetwise 2, so that sounds like a definite.
Yeah,
Yes.
mine's are only 0. So
Okay.
Who's
So
got
so-
broker?
You 3.
But then do you still want me to roll for the low passengers?
zero.
Or do you want me to
Okay.
If
go
other
for
people are
So
rolling,
it sounds like you're doing one, you're doing one, you're doing
my
one.
social
You're
is,
doing
is -1. So
Alright, so how does
my
this work?
social's
So you
good.
roll
but
2
my,
dice.
Yeah.
You add your skill level, you add your attribute modifier, and you have to hit or beat 8. Now, the biggest dice. The effect is how much you beat 8 by. That will add on to the person's roll that you're associated with. So you need to pick who you roll. So your streetwise is rolling for yourself.
Yeah.
10,
And I got
Your
10,
roll
so
is
I beat
for
you by 2.
Sam.
13.
Adam, you're rolling for yourself, and Roger, you're rolling for yourself.
I got
Sure.
13.
You got an effect of 5. So you add 5 to your next roll.
I've got an effect of 2.
Okay. Roll 2 dice and add your skill.
No.
Stats.
I has failed.
4.
Add your skill level
1,
and your attribute modifier.
which is
Social.
Social
social endurance, right?
or endurance, yeah, because you're doing carouse.
Because that's 0 then. It's
Okay.
8. So is that not? That's not good.
So you rolled. What did you roll in total?
You didn't
And
get 8.
2 from your skill. Okay. You
Yeah,
failed.
whereas I rolled, I rolled a 3, so unsurprisingly I didn't make it even with +3.
Okay.
So we're going to have a freeze a
Do
few
you get-
poor
do you
people.
always
A
get
couple of rooms
positive
full of
modifiers, or do you get
From really high, what did you
I-
do?
Oh, we
You'll
can't take high people because we don't have the rooms for them.
Oh, it's the effect.
I'd
Yeah.
say
So it's a
more.
negative modifier if you have rolled lower.
Ooh.
So what did you get in total?
-2 then.
Minus
Yeah, that's
2.
only
And you
12.
rolled 6, so it's -2 to Sam's roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so +2 Ben,
Yeah.
-2 Sam, -2 Adam, +5 Roger.
How much
And you're rolling on the high passenger.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm rolling on medium.
Oh, we went low, basic, medium,
But we can't
high.
take high, so.
Yeah, but that's just who's
This is just to generate how many passengers there are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there any point in generating
You
high?
can swap if
I
you
would
want
probably
to.
have aimed for medium because.
Okay,
I've
roll
got
high,
quite a
Adam.
good
I guess.
Okay,
Why
so
don't
roll.
I roll high? Because I was doing mine off social.
Right,
I was gonna
so-
do it. So I'll do high.
You get a modifier as well.
So you can do.
So, a modifier of the
basic.
highest steward skill on the ship.
Of me. What?
1. So add 1 to that number.
So I'm adding 3.
Rolling for high passengers, -4.
That's me. So I'm pretty certain I'm gonna fail.
Rolling for low passengers, +1.
Right, so that's another +1. So
Plus 4.
+4.
Okay. What's the world?
What's the basic? Is there what is the basic? Or not?
Between 6 and 7.
We've got the freezers
No,
already
modifier
full, I
on the
think.
Freezer is hopefully the
So
same.
the population of the planet is 6, so you get a +1,
Okay, so +5.
everyone.
So +7.
Okay. And the starport is a
-4.
B. Yep. So you get a +1.
+8.
+6.
-3.
Okay. We're not in an amber zone or a red zone. Right, so roll 2 dice and add that modifier.
18.
3.
Okay.
Well, 18 on
14.
14.
No, on medium.
So there are 5 dice worth of low passengers.
That's probably.
I was doing high.
Yep.
3.
3. There's 1 dice.
We
of
don't
high
want them
passengers.
anyways.
Basic, I think I was on in the end.
Yep.
I got 5.
5. There are 2 dice of. So you need to roll
5
5 dice. You need to roll 2 dice.
18.
18. There are 8 dice of middle
I
passengers.
need more dice.
So total that number up.
Seriously, there are 4 ones.
But it's
on
not quite.
5 dice.
Not quite Yellow. How annoying.
It's 4 of a kind. Close enough. I've still got 2 more rolls on that.
4 and 4 of a kind. You put it under the ones.
31, 34.
So
Okay.
only do one.
So right, we've got low,
Well,
I realised you still need Stuart for middle passage.
okay.
Steward for middle passage.
Basic.
Realised that.
middle.
Only
Yeah.
0 Stuart,
They
but
still
still
need to-
Steward.
That's why you're only
Okay.
taking basic.
So how many low
Right,
passengers?
we'll take
are there?
In all fairness, there are 10, which is more than we've
10
got
low
low
passengers.
birds.
Basic.
9.
9
Nice.
passengers. Middle.
34.
34 middle passengers. And high.
1.
1 high passenger.
In all fairness, we can now start auctioning it because we've got lots of
Okay.
people that want to come.
Right, so
We've only got
The-
6 low berths
Yeah,
and
so by
10 people to
supply and
put in them.
demand, we can
a
jack the
low
price up.
passenger, because you're travelling 1 parsec, will give you 700 credits.
How many of them can we take?
Yeah, and remember the 700
There's
credits costs you 1,000 for
No.
Low
because
birds.
they're
Low
low
birds.
births. Yeah,
They're
300.
frozen.
yeah.
So,
So you make
so how many low
400
birds?
credits.
400
So
credits if they survive the other
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, do they pay up front?
No, they pay up front,
or-
They
I'm
pay up
pretty sure.
Oh, well,
So
Yeah.
how much do we? How many do we have?
10 of those.
So
We
there's
can't
10
fit 10 of them in
There
the
are-
ship. though,
No,
can we?
how many low berths do you have?
6 low berths.
We've got
So you can
6
get
low berths.
6 low berths. Okay.
So the
There
prices
are-
go up if the demand's
I'm
high.
assuming you want to go for the middle ones first because there's 34 of them, or do you want to fit 9 basics into
Hold on. How much?
two.
How much? What's
A
the most
basic
profitable? Is the
passenger.
most profitable.
Demands.
basic passage is 2,200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
And
You can fit 4 per stateroom. And how much is a medium?
6,200.
Okay, so we want to fill. We want 2 rooms filled with the
But you
base.
will-
They have one room each.
Yeah, they're one.
And what service do they require?
They require a chat every now and then from Roger, from Magnus.
They want the captain to come round and say hello.
Occasionally, to get and a steward to bring them a drink.
I need a
occasionally.
hat.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you've got a collection of hats.
Hold on. So do I come with clothing and stuff suitable for my social status, or do I have to
Yes,
buy that?
you have clothing suitable for your social status,
Your dress
which is
uniform.
why Ben is in a boiler suit. In a hammock.
No, Roger gave me some cash.
Oh, right, okay. I thought it was a shiny credit. And the high passenger, who will take up the same room as a middle passenger,
Yeah.
is 8,500.
But they want waiting on
But you will
hand.
have-
They want waiting on hand.
Yeah, that's not happening.
And none of us have got steward other than you. So.
No, well, I have.
Yeah, I am probably the last person you want waiting
that's
in any
actually-
Oh,
ship.
actually,
Hey,
you should do it. You can
That's
look after
actually a
middle
common
passage.
Basically, I will be waiting
Who
on
wants
people
passage.
and feeding them. And the captain will occasionally wander around and go, "Hello,
Oh, but Steward 0, you can do up to
And
10
then
basically.
great.
have a drink from this
Middle
nice
As a
carry."
read-all scientist. So the high passage customer is a read-all scientist by the name of Grafe.
We're not taking him.
Yeah, but we've got a read-all princess right here, so that qualifies for the weighted on hand and foot extra special treatment stuff, and is a
From the-
scientist.
Careful when you
From-
talk about extra special treatment.
Yeah,
of
be,
read-all.
be a
From the
little
Baron.
careful.
That wasn't what I meant.
That means the Baron basically.
No.
So it basically says it's a full time for the entire journey.
High,
He
it
will
says
have to wait on him.
wait
hand
on
and foot.
good food and staff. Doesn't say steward. It says
Okay.
staff to wait on hand and foot,
Yeah.
and it requires a stateroom, 1 ton of cargo space, and 1 level of steward per 10 passengers.
So you
So you need to occasionally turn up and go, hey everybody, wonderful ship, hey, we're all going lovely.
Can we hire a help?
How much?
Good.
We can.
But then we have
3,000
to pay
credits
for
a
them,
month.
and
And then they
we
take
pay-
up room.
8 for the.
And,
Oh, they take a room.
and he
Yeah.
takes you
Yeah.
they will do it.
Oh yeah, keep them in a box.
Well, I think there's
Should
a
we be
robot
in
one
the
that you can. That are
Helping
expensive.
the
No.
pipers. Help my
Okay,
passengers.
so we've got.
Okay, right.
They'll just sleep at the bottom of the
Yeah,
bed.
I think we should.
Like underneath them.
Like a pet.
I think we should take the read-all scientist because I'm biased.
24.
So they'd be
Okay.
at least
So
good.
24.
Hang on. Before we go, have you figured out what we want to do with passengers?
I think the read-all scientist is still a good idea because their idea of weighted on hand and foot isn't necessarily going to be like a butler turning up and going, very good, sir. They might be quite content to have scientific conversations with an intellectual peer of some renown.
This is true.
If I
And then I don't have to talk to you all.
Was what I was
Brilliant.
thinking.
Brilliant.
Well, okay, I suppose it would save me having to be the intellectual peer, given I've got an E in intellect.
Oh. You are clever.
For what it's worth, I'm
Sorry.
no dope either.
Your character is clever.
Yeah.
Ouch! Oh, burn!
There is
Okay,
a
right.
domestic servant
So,
robot.
how much money are you going to make for this week's journey?
Jesus
in
Christ.
passengers?
Is that real? Is that
In a
real?
week.
In
a week.
yeah.
So you can do this 4 times, remember?
Yeah, because we've got to work it out each time.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
Protocol droid.
Well, this is
Oh, that's
just
at level 14.
Fluent in over 12 million forms of
6
communication.
million.
And not the one that we hear from the Imperial droid that everyone knows about. Anyway, sorry.
54,000. 54,100.
So you can make 54,000 in a week. So
Well,
you could do 4
yeah.
runs to and from Kusk and make
Just
No,
under.
216,000.
No, because it takes time to get to your jump point.
Yeah, it takes
Then
you
you have
a
to
couple of
jump.
days to get to the.
Then you have to do the jump.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you
you
do
have to
maybe
go.
3
Then you have to go to the
trips.
planet. Yeah.
That's not to say that there isn't people on Kusk
And
who
then,
go
and then
back.
when you
Yeah.
actually get to the planet, you've got to.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we need
Get
to do
your
cargo.
And I don't know how
Yeah.
long I'm going to be on Kusk either.
So you guys down here, Roger, Simon, and Shan, you're going to roll for major cargo, minor cargo, and incidental cargo.
Ooh.
Wait.
That's exactly. Do we, the
So this is again a roll, but we can modify this
500 credits.
It's basically going
with
to
the
an
effect of a
outpost
broker
where
or
they don't have
streetwise
very
check.
much.
Oh, I have
So,
broken.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she's beyond our tech level.
yeah, a couple of
So I can
prisoners.
use my.
Is that a sex droid?
The skin job is beyond our tech level.
Oh,
But the domestic
Okay,
servant
let's
is
see.
within tech level.
Okay.
We can spend 500 credits.
We need
on
a broker
domestic
or a
Is that what it is?
streetwise roll.
So I can do
I'll do
a
a
Hold on, so do we only get
Streetwise level 2.
Do we only
It's
get
1 to that roll. So you're doing the major cargo. Someone can roll for you, broker or streetwise,
Alright, so
to add to it.
so I don't roll for myself.
You can if you want to, if you've got the skill.
Okay, so I'll add 3 to the roll.
So you've got
Well, it's intellect.
Yeah.
Intellect 2 and broker 1.
I have 4 to the roll.
streetwise
With my
level
streetwise and my intellect.
Alright, so
and
can we.
broker or streetwise. Anyone else?
So I've got
Well, someone else can use streetwise if they get more than +1.
I get +3, so I could.
What
I
does
could.
streetwise-
He gets a
Do
plus
you,
4 plus 4.
do you have broker?
plus
No,
3.
Streetwise.
Streetwise.
3.
Yeah.
So he's
Well,
got
then just use
streetwise.
streetwise.
So okay, you're going to roll for Shan.
Okay.
Adam, you're
That's
going to
the
roll for
incidental.
Simon, and Roger, you're going to roll for yourself.
Alright.
So roll those 3 effects.
Papa, +4 to your roll.
Jesus.
There you go. +4 to your roll. Wait, there's more modifiers.
But wait, there's more. For Simon's roll, I got a mighty 1 +1. Because I got 9.
Hold on, how do we know what the plus is?
So what have you rolled?
That's what it is.
I've
Right.
rolled 8 and I've had 3.
Yep. So you have to get 8 or more, and however much you beat it by is your
Alright,
effect.
so I get
3.
plus 3.
You get +3. Now there are other modifiers. So if you're rolling major cargo,
Yeah.
-4.
Oh,
So you're at -1. That's because there's less of it.
hold on, so I failed.
No, don't
No,
worry.
no, yeah, you
this
haven't
will
rolled
be
yet.
your modifier to the
Alright,
roll
so it's
for
minus
free.
1 overall.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
far.
roll a 9
For
now.
incidental cargo,
Yeah.
you get +2.
Let's do so I'm on +6.
The world's
Looks like
got
that cargo of fidget spinners is going to happen.
Yeah.
So unless I roll 2 1s.
wait. The world population of 6 means you get all 3 of you get a +2 to your roll,
+2, so +8.
Alright, so now
Yeah.
I'm plus 1.
and it's a starport B, so you get +1 to your rolls.
Plus 2.
Tech level of 9 or more, it is
Yeah.
+2 to your rolls.
11.
You're on plus 11.
+11.
Yeah. Okay. So roll 2 dice and add that modifier.
So the fidget spinners are going to.
Well, these are-
10 plus 4, 14.
270 tons of fidget spinners.
Yeah.
I think our cargo is like 60.
18.
You can strap some to the outside.
Okay.
14.
Simon.
14.
Okay. So you got 14.
Yeah.
There is 5D of major and minor. You rolled an 18, so there's 8 dice of incidental cargo.
I assume that the major gives more money than the minor. Than what? So
Yes, we will figure that out in a moment.
So what we've found so far is we don't have a problem attracting passengers or cargo.
Major cargo, each lot is comprised
world.
of 1D times 10 tons of freight. So basically, you'll roll 5D, add that up,
Oh, holy
What?
crap.
26.
26.
That was 3 6s and
Right.
2 4s.
Roll 1 dice.
6.
Okay, each of those 26 lots is 60 tons of cargo.
We can't carry anywhere near that.
Well, yeah, one lot of that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Minor cargo. How many lots did you roll?
I got 5. I'm sorry. Yeah.
14.
No, it's how many lots.
Okay.
So the
Oh,
14.
for
The
the
14 is
number
what
of
there.
cards.
That's
Yeah,
5D.
bigger
So
shit.
5D.
Okay. Well, one. Yeah. Well, one. You got 5D.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 10.
10. Right. Roll 1 dice.
What? 1.
1. Each of those is 5 tons. So there's 10 lots.
10 lots
10?
of 5
10 lots of 5 tons.
Then
Incidental cargo.
Got 8.
8 dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So when you said bringing in 3d6s, this was absolutely a lie.
It's just maliciously lying.
Sorry.
4.
They told us we needed 3d6. We were just lying.
2, maybe 3d6.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you've all got 3d6,
That's good.
that's 18 dice.
26.
Back to the
26.
works for me. then.
Right,
I'm gonna
roll
need
1
another
dice.
20 of these bad boys.
5.
So there's 26 lots of 5 tons. I'm not making you roll 26 times of how many there are.
This is
Give
vastly
Dawn
more
assist-
cargo than we. Can we get like a trailer or something?
Yeah, like, and a roof rack.
So-
Oh,
How
hire another ship at this rate.
So how much is this worth cost sales for?
I'm
And
pretty
freight, here we go.
Oh, jeez.
So freight. Freight.
Which pays more, freight or cargo?
What's the difference between freight and
Freight
cargo?
lots must be transported in their entirety and come in 3 sizes. To determine the number of cargo lots available, roll. Travellers not wishing to risk speculative trade can go for the safer option of shipping freight. Freight shipments pay a fixed rate as shown on the passage and freight table. So these will pay you 1,000 credits per lot.
And how much does cargo pay?
I think it's speculative, so it can vary.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
buy the cargo, basically you have to find a buyer. You have to find someone who's going to sell it to you, buy it, then get there and find someone who's going to buy it off you.
Yeah, speculative trade. You can have a go if you want.
It might not be a terrible idea at the minute, given that we're
Well,
buying it on a really,
we
really
have to
populous
buy-
place
we-
and taking it
But we
somewhere
actually
they
have to
don't
buy the goods. We have to give someone the money for the goods.
Have money to
front.
buy them.
Fair
Oh,
point.
yeah, we
So your first shipment, you may just be.
I think we just go with the freight.
Sure, I actually do have.
I have no idea how much cargo costs.
Yeah, I don't know how much it costs, but I've got money that could go into it.
I have some money as well.
About 100 grand around, but I would let's buy it. No,
I can carry it onto the ship.
Base price of common, the size varies. So it could be between 20 and 120 tons. The base price is 20,000 credits for common manufactured goods.
That's not a lot of money. We need a
Whereas cybernetics for 1D tons is 250,000 credits.
Okay, can we ship that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, we can buy that.
We can't buy it.
Buy half a box.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So what other
You
things
have to
are
buy it, and then you have to go and sell it somewhere
Yeah.
where it's.
So you have to
Cost
find someone who's going
You
to
ever
sell
play
it to you.
Elite Frontier?
Yeah, you're going to have to find someone who's going to sell it to you and then go.
All we
Yeah.
do is
So you have to do some rolls to find them, and then we figure out what they've got, and then you go, "Ooh, do I want to buy them?"
Is that what I can use my allies for?
contacts?
Yeah, or
Contact.
contacts for allies. Oh yeah,
Um,
ally, yeah. Yeah, I've got quite a few. Yes.
Finding a supplier.
but what freight is basically somebody else's cargo essentially.
Yeah,
Freight
right.
is it's going. Someone needs to move it.
Freight is basically we're shipping like basic supplies and food and stuff.
Yes.
It's pre-sold.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't buy it. We
Yeah.
Parts and
You
supplies.
just move
forest
We
mode.
are
couriering.
just-
Yeah,
Basically,
You
we go
are
DHL.
the logistics. Yes.
Yeah, we're couriering rather than actually buying
Maybe
and
that
selling.
would
Yeah,
be
my
a
friend Alex Murphy
Contracts.
might be interested in some cybernetics.
Yeah. What does he do?
He's combat implant specialist.
Oh, okay, cool.
but probably not. He's probably not where we're going.
And how much do we need for combat implant stuff?
We can
Quite a
only
bit.
afford half a ton, but then that's half a ton of.
It also takes 1D number of days to find a supplier.
And they're probably not going in the same direction as us.
Yeah.
possibly.
Well,
Also,
Nothing
we're going
more-
to a space
nothing more-
station that's not taking a huge amount of people.
There's
Carrying a bucket
3,000.
load of cybernetics probably not the
Yeah,
easiest.
there's 3,000 people on Stormhaven Station.
yeah, set
All 3,000 of them.
buying cheap cybernetics.
Right.
Sell them. Yeah, we should.
But a lot of
So-
them would have been down to the planet. And got
Are you
horribly
able
injured
to
by the
fill your
accident.
hull, your cargo?
Well, we can basically take one thing of 60 because it's 64. We can
How
take
much-
64 tons and we've basically got a 60 or
Why don't you take
fives.
all the incidental ones and get paid?
Is that including, like-
one?
They're fives. Oh, so is it only? It's
Incidents
okay.
5.
I think major cargo is like massive bulky crap
Yeah.
that you'll get a grand for.
Okay.
Per ton or per?
Is it
Per
per
five
ton?
And also, how much does it
Per
cost per
Dunno.
ton? Because that's the tricky
Well, if
bit.
it's freight.
Well, yeah, no, but it was saying major and
That's
Is,
to be-
is incidental harder to get?
No,
or
it
is
should be worse, shouldn't it?
Yeah. If it's harder to get, then you'd say, because that was the only question I had about trade was whether or not whether it's per ton.
I've not actually looked at this, Jack.
But it does
I
just
feel free.
say
I have looked at this chapter, but it was numbers, so it slid right back
Yes.
out my brain.
I would say per ton.
in which case you pretty much just fill your holes.
Yeah,
But we
with
can
one
only-
lot, because
with
then
one lot.
you're not disappointing multiple people. And we can also see if there's mail, if you want to.
Do we need to reserve any of the cargo space for like fuel and stuff?
That's
That's
your
what it
fuel
is.
tank is full.
Yeah, you fill things
Your
full.
cargo space is separate.
Oh, okay.
You can get additional fuel. and put
No,
it
I
in
just
there.
wanted. And don't we have to? Do we take a high passenger in the end? I can't remember what we decided.
Yeah, we decided we could.
So that needs a ton of cargo space for them.
Yes.
Yeah. So we just take the
Does
6
someone want to roll 2 dice to see what mail there is?
Are there any modifiers for
We could hire a broker.
Yeah, you can.
Wanted to-
But we've got Streetwise 3. You don't need a broker.
Oh yeah.
He's out there. He's
So right,
wearing a
another
suit.
Yeah.
Another guy is,
Please give me a good deal on anyone. I just need a good deal.
So freight what was the dice modifier?
We didn't
on
do
the
a
freight
dice
roll?
We didn't go
Right.
for it. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
Was
we-
that-
we-
was that a
we
separate
did-
roll?
No, that was the one we did there.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
plus 11.
Plus 11. That was your dice
Well,
modifier.
for the incidental it wasn't
So
it?
you get plus 2. You get plus 2 to your mail roll.
Okay.
Your ship is armed.
Yeah.
So you get plus 2.
plus 4?
The traveller's highest naval or scout rank,
Yeah,
Commander.
commander.
which is level 3,
Five.
4,
4.
4. So plus 4. The traveller's highest social standing dice modifier.
Plus 2.
So it's 10.
I'm at plus 1, so he's at high.
Yeah.
That's 10, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Plus 10.
On a roll of 12 or more, the travellers are chosen to transport mail to the destination world.
I'm just going to throw this out there. We're going to get
Mail containers. Male containers.
Male
Not
was
female
I was
containers.
going to say, I don't know why you're restricting this just to one gender.
They take up 5 tons of space,
Oh.
and the travellers will be paid 25,000 credits for transporting the container. There will be 1D containers available to transport, and the travellers must take them all or none at all.
Hold on, so we take 1D times 25,000
Yeah,
containers.
it's for mail.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So roll
Yes,
your
let's
dice.
take
Yeah.
that. Let's do that.
With a plus 10.
2 dice.
Oh, 2
Two
dice.
dice, yeah.
Oh, sorry. 14. I didn't roll
You are chosen to transport mail.
Okay.
Roll
Travellers.
1D for how many containers there are.
6.
6. Okay. So you will be paid
25,000 times 6.
150,000.
And that takes up
Okay.
all of
Yeah.
that takes up 30 tons of cargo.
That takes up 30
It
tons
does,
of
but
space.
that's a
Oh,
lot.
yeah, it's worth it. I'm just saying, but we then
That's
we'll
what
the rest
Jan
of it
said
done.
more than the phrase.
So,
Yeah.
so our original plan of paint the ship red is pretty
He's on yeah.
So, because of your rank, your social standing,
Yeah.
your experience, and your trustworthiness, the career council, departmental head
I'm
for
pretty confident I
mail,
can mail.
Yes, you stop.
gives you a special consignment
A
to take.
gold letterbox.
It's not bad as a first job, is it?
I just like he's in the postman uniform. He goes, "He's in the navy. I know. That's why we give you all the good stuff."
Just so I know, how much is a black and white cat?
Regular or robot?
Do you have the animal skill?
You can,
No.
No.
you
Okay.
can buy like a little pet habitat. There's a variant option you can buy.
Has everyone chosen which room they want to be in on the,
The best
ship?
one.
The best one.
I'm sharing with the Choricks, I don't care.
I just like I said, I just take out
Ben,
the
should
box.
we suggest that I want to be on the room facing that way,
Okay, facing that way.
not facing forwards?
Which way is
I
the
want a
ship?
side,
Oh, you want a window.
side, yeah. I want a window.
So, okay, run down the passengers you're taking.
So
you're taking the high
So
passenger.
we're taking 1 high passenger,
Yep.
4 middle passengers, and then 8 basic passengers.
And
then-
6 in the
then
deep freeze.
6 in the freezer.
Okay, and that's going to generate how much money?
54,100.
Probably be in the
Okay.
We do have to take money off for that, but
Okay.
Sure. And you're taking the mail.
150,000,
And how much cargo are you taking?
30 tons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of incidental.
Well, yeah.
Well, you can make
Well,
that.
Because we can't we can't take.
We can't
Is
take
there
the
only
other
10
things,
lots?
too much.
You can't take the big one,
No.
Yeah.
but you can take the other ones.
Yeah, we got there's 26 lots of 5 ton.
So yeah, we take. We have to.
So you better fill it up.
How much do they cost?
You don't have to take all of that. It's
That's
just
for
a
freighting though.
Oh, that's freight.
Freight.
All right, that's freight.
There's
Freight.
10 lots of 5 tons,
That's
Yeah.
freight.
and there are 26 lots of
Um,
5 ton.
Yeah.
And then there are 26 lots of 60 tons.
And we're getting paid to take me in.
And we're getting paid 100 grand to take her there. Anyway.
See, and you
Yeah.
will borrow
Sam.
the mortgage.
Yes.
One lot.
Oh, brilliant.
Can you roll
So that's
2 dice as a
However,
However, we want to obviously
D66
try and
for
quick get that mortgage down as quick as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to pick a
One second.
10.
Well,
So tens and units. 54.
Okay. Okay. One of the middle passengers actually turns out to be a fairly rich noble,
Why is he travelling
Oh,
middle?
you can pay double then.
but he's slumming it.
That's what you do.
He's travelling. And
I was
God,
going to
he's
say
on
this
a
is a
gap
gap year.
and he's actually a Riedel. And he says his name is Srelj. And he's delighted to join the ship, and he's very much looking forward to travelling to Kusk.
If he was really slumming, he could serve the high class guy.
I don't think we're doing that.
We'll give him a shiny credit if he does.
Okay, so
How many people have got athletics? Because I guess that means we can teach him yoga, can't we? Help him find himself.
your cargo is a
Pick that man a
mixture
guitar.
of foodstuffs, basic consumer goods, basic electronics, and basic industrial goods. It's kind of very standard stuff, living stuff. People need it in a colony. It's not that exciting, but the Career Council is paying for you to ship that stuff off to the new
Amazon
How much are we
boxes.
getting paid for the cargo?
The cargo's 30 grand.
Okay, yeah, because you've got 30 tons.
30 tons.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's okay.
So,
So how much are we making
How
on
much are you
this one
making on this
trip?
trip?
54, 84, 184, 284, 334, 44, 54, 359,000.
and how much of our costs?
Well, I'll tell you that on the next episode.
Okay,
It is
so
5 minutes past 10.
it is.
Might be.
So we've conveniently just hit our time limit. So we now have a crew and a ship. We need to figure out a name for the ship, which we'll have next time. We have connections. We have a turret. We have a cargo, passengers, and an initial mission to travel to Kusk.
We've got roles inside the ship. So
That's why
I'm
we
the
haven't
engineer.
actually
You got
established
pilot, right?
I'm assuming I'm the captain.
Captain,
Yeah.
pilot. Okay, well,
Can we?
no, because the
Yeah,
captain
okay.
won't pilot them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can do.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm the best damn pilot in the galaxy.
Anyone else got a particular role? they want to
Who's
take?
going to be the
You're-
astrogator?
I'm the
Who
engineer.
is the best astrogator?
Oh,
on
who
the
is
ship?
the best astrogator
What's it off of? Intellect.
or education, depending on it.
Yeah.
Alright, +3.
+3.
Oh,
Whoa!
you've got to look
To
after
be fair,
the.
she's more cargo, so it'd be you.
And I've got
Yeah.
to talk to this guy apparently, and also
Yeah.
technically I do.
It should be you. Yeah.
But I actually get a job!
Yes.
Yes, I do also
Oh
technically have
dear.
medics checking the guys in deep freeze as well, because isn't it embedded rolls to
Yeah.
defrost them?
It
Yeah,
is.
it is. So you're probably
So I
going
have
to
You're
to-
good. You're good at
You're
medic rolls for
super.
defrosting.
Oh,
people.
God.
That's what previous
Don't.
games.
Don't.
Yeah.
So
Don't.
should we
It's like a whole
discuss
species.
Hey, should we find
A
out
whole
what-
species.
You're a space dwarf.
We should finish and then do that next time.
I should
Yes.
be
Okay,
the
cool.
gunner.
Right, so.
Yeah.
That's because I'm generally useless, so I'll probably be on sensors.
So
Yeah.
Give me something I can do.
I can't use sensors.
Yeah.
Big on the
So we've
computer
got
service.
wolves.
Yeah.
We've got wolf. Like.
No, we haven't.
No,
We really haven't.
we haven't got
What's
wolf.
No,
Because if he's.
it's a different universe.
No, no, I meant.
That show hasn't
It's
existed.
evolved.
That show hasn't existed.
Hey, I'd rather be Picard than Kirk.
Yeah.
I can also do comms if that helps. Which
If I'm going to be one of them, I'd
I
rather
can do that too.
I'd rather be in a
I think you're
completely-
probably more of a Captain Lorca, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you.
I'd be on a different channel.
Cool, can we play you a new
Oh
one?
yeah, you're a Lorca. You would like Captain
I'll probably
Lorca.
say Brandon.
He
He
does.
is
what,
right up
he
your
does
street.
what has to be done.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
And
your
then it'll be
kind
more
of
of a
style,
fancy.
Captain.
Butchering people. Get me a
Okay.
towel and some water.
Anyway, so we have a ship, we have a crew.
How's that going to torture them?
You filled the ship with cargo and passengers, and you're heading off to Kusk. We'll start next time with you guys at Korea, about to head off, greeting all your people on board the ship. But
Session 1.
that will be session 1 officially.
You
No.
come up with a catchy title for it before then.
Yeah.
Well, generally the episode dictates what we call them.
Yeah.
Episode. Anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the other videos. We've got our setting videos, and at some point I will be putting some more on there before the next episode. Mainly because the players don't bother reading anything, and it helps them. Roger. Anyway,
I read them.
I'm joking.
Some of us watched the last video and made notes.
Oh,
You
excellent.
did?
Oh,
You sent them to me.
oh, excellent. Brilliant. Okay, well, hopefully you guys will join us next time on Traveller, and we'll get the adventure going. So thanks for watching, and bye-bye. Bye.